I've been on the hunt for the perfect planner for years, but could never find anything that worked for my life. Then I found Zinnia, an app that's totally customizable and makes planning so easy. Zinnia helps me record special moments, track goals, schedule self-care, and document my life. Zinnia has so many cute journal templates, habit trackers, to-do lists, and more. I use my phone on the go, then switch to my iPad to edit, add photos, and draw, and voila! Everything looks great. Am I obsessed? Maybe. Shh. Download Zinnia on the App Store today.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
This season on Nada Yada Island.
When we were new, they spoiled me. They even gave me a phone. But then, it's like I didn't exist.
Don't take yada yada from your wireless carrier. Now with Metro, get that new customer feeling again and again. Introducing Metro Flex. Free 5G phones when you join, same deals as new customers when you stay. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Just bring your number and ID and sign up for an eligible plan. After 12 months, trade in and get our best deals on select devices.
1, 2, 3, 4. Those are numbers. But you already knew that. If you want to know what number you're going to pay each month for your car, use Kelly Blue Book My Wallet on Auto Trader. They're really good at numbers. Auto Trader.
Meet the Bedroom Suite by Thuma, the foundation for the perfect staycation. Time spent at home is the ultimate luxury, and Thuma makes it easy to stay in, with lifestyle-enhancing pieces like the bed, the dresser, and the nightstand. To get $25 towards the bed, go to Thuma.co. That's THUMA.co to receive $25 off your purchase of the bed. Shop the bed at Thuma.co.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith from the Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the Men's Room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the Men's Room.
And away we go. Welcome to season 19, episode number 4112. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, and Mike Hawk. Montgomery! And you are the Men's Room. On tap today, the return of Who Sucks Less. We will play Profile This. Plus headlines, the Men's Room shot of the day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorite, TV Time with Ted.
Click, clack.
Drink. All right, here we go. Chicago man convicted of murder after testimony from a witness who just happens to be blind.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Colorado police search for a car and drugs, and then quite the find. Florida woman caught having sex in public dives off a pier. Officers chase stole a motorcycle, look inside the saddlebags, and oh, look out, it's a deer. And officials in Thailand search for a missing kangaroo. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, typically, when we say someone was swept off their feet, we mean something positive has happened, which is kind of dumb because when one is literally swept off their feet, it's usually bad. Case in point, a teen fell 400 feet from the High Steel Bridge in Shelton. That's like falling from a 40-story building. Now, he was a bit scraped up, but otherwise, he was okay. Now, not to be outdone, a guy in Hawaii, he fell 1,000 feet to the base of a waterfall. That would be like falling from a 100-story building. And miraculously, this guy survived too, in spite of being trapped down there for 3 days. But both of these guys, yeah, they were swept off their feet. And all kinds of things can happen when your own feet are not in control of your movements. For example, 12 people were injured when the plane they were on hit turbulence. And this was only 5 days after a different flight hit turbulence and sent dozens of people to the hospital. And it was also only 6 days after another flight hit turbulence, emptying the bowels of the passengers when it dropped almost 200 feet in about 5 seconds. Now, that's scary. But I'm going to say this. I believe it's a lot less scary than two guys in a hot air balloon that survived the crash into a power line. Just going to go ahead and say, no thank you. And look, we've got more stories. It doesn't matter. You can be on a boat. You got hang gliders. We got cruise ships. We got skateboards. We got more planes. It's all about you not really being in control of your situation. It basically just comes down to your feet, right? Unless you're walking, who knows what's going to happen? And that's what today's question is. We want to know what happened when your feet were not on the ground.
To be a part of the big show, call 206-803-ROCK. Like the Men's Room on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live, and send your emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
This season on Nada Yada Island.
When we were new, they spoiled me. They even gave me a phone. But then, it's like I didn't exist.
Don't take yada yada from your wireless carrier. Now with Metro, get that new customer feeling again and again. Introducing Metro Flex. Free 5G phones when you join, same deals as new customers when you stay. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Just bring your number and ID and sign up for an eligible plan. After 12 months, trade in and get our best deals on select devices.
What are you doing? My weekly planner.
On your iPad?
On the Zinnia app. It has all different templates and creative tools. It's so much fun. I can import photos and add stickers.
You haven't heard of Zinnia? It helps me keep track of my kids' sports and dance classes right from my iPhone. Zinnia even helps me save important moments, like when my daughter scored the winning goal last week. I was able to upload a picture and the final score.
Wow, okay. It seems like everyone but me uses Zinnia. How do I spell it? Zinnia? All right, I'm downloading it now.
Yep, just got my Ecobee smart home when nosy Ned next door came over with questions about it. Ecobee? What's that? You should get the system I've got, he said. I told him Ecobee is really smart and listed off a few great Ecobee features. He went from smug to envious real quick. Turns out Ecobee is a lot smarter than his better-known smart home. So I consoled him and said, Ned, get yourself a smarter home. Ned's over a lot now. Visit Ecobee.com today.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Oh, Patrol's away we go. Welcome to Season 19, Episode number 4112. What a large and in-charge program we have for you today. Guaranteed future repeat. Exciting return of Who Sucks Less. Steve, I don't know how you do it each and every week, but you find people in the news doing bad things.
Yeah, it's not easy to do.
You bring us 3 stories. We have to identify out of the 3 which one sucks the least. How brutal has the news been in the past week?
I mean, I don't know that brutal's the word, but it's not good, and all 3 stories involve kids.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, no kids were hurt in the making of this,
all right,
but kids are at the heart of these situations happening.
Okay. Oh, we do have some updates on the Men's Room IPA from Black Raven Brewing. Yeah. We got a number today that blew our mind as far as the number of beers that you guys have just imbibed in so far.
No, that does not include the kegs at bars. So you could have 500 pints of this stuff, but just the cans alone.
We are we are doing. I'm not going to say anything. Knock on wood. I know for a fact, as far as the 3 Fisher, really, the 3 Fisher houses in the area are concerned, you guys have done a lot of good. So
yes,
thank you for liking the beer. Thank you for continuing to send in the locations. Just email the men's room at KISW.com. Displays that the Safeways, QFCs of the world have been doing. The Haggans. It should be easy to find.
Yeah.
But if not, as someone who's working there, hey, do you guys know where the Men's Room IPA from Black Raven is?
Hey, man.
I went into 4 places.
Hey, where's the Men's Room IPA?
Where it is? I did. I went into 4 places this weekend. Every single location had our beer.
All right. Excellent.
But I kept on looking around for, I needed rolls and other things. But either way, yeah. So please
Did you ever find rolls?
It took 4 grocery stores.
Just to find the
I
rolls.
did this on Memorial Day at
So
1
you
o'clock.
didn't go to 4 grocery stores looking for the beer. You went to 4 grocery stores looking for rolls and happened to see our beer.
The first,
in each one.
I needed beer. I bought a 6-pack at the first place.
All right.
But every time I went into a different grocery store, of course, I spotted the beer. So, and then I go look for the beer brats, and then I didn't find those because I think a lot of those might have been sold out. I don't know. But then I looked for some other things, and boom, there's the salsa. So I bought the salsa. So I as Meatloaf would say, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah.
I did not just had a hard time finding the rolls.
Yeah.
But either way, we'll give you some updated locations. And thank you for sending those in.
I will say I was down at the Pearl Jam show last night at the Climate Pledge Arena and stopped off at the Met Market that was up there just like a half a block away, something like that, for a little spot of something to eat. There was the beer that was on the shelf up there in the 6-packs if you want.
Climate Pledge doesn't have it, right?
No.
I'm okay with that. Now, look, I'd love for them to carry it, but I don't want people to have to spend $47.
Think of the money that would go to the Fisher House.
My God. They'd build 6 more.
Right, exactly.
Climate Pledge alone.
Climate
My
Pledge.
God, man.
I know for a fact that they've got it on tap at one of my favorite spots in Fremont, the Triangle. Those guys have great food, great fried chicken, and everything else.
That is a good spot.
And, deviled eggs, Jell-O shots.
Yeah.
I mean, you name it.
Deviled eggs and Jell-O shots,
like
baby.
A kid in the candy store. Give me some fried chicken, a Jell-O shot, a men's room.
It sounds great. My stomach just hurts already.
Deviled eggs.
At the same time, them just like,
jambalaya. I got it all. And what else? Metallica tickets. Almost forgot that. Every day in May. We're still in May. And with that, 420, we'll give you the secret word. And you text that into 206-803-ROCK. A few days left for you to get a chance to win Metallica tickets. So keep that in mind. 420 is your time today.
It's not Metallica. In fact, if Pearl Jam are going to play next month, they told us don't call it Pearl Jam.
Yep. And our question, what happened when your feet were not on the ground?
Pearl June.
Pearl June, yeah.
Pearl June.
Sounds like an old lady or a cocktail. Yeah, see, I'll have a Pearl June.
What would be in a Pearl June? You go to the
Gin.
bar, yeah,
Probably.
and an ice cube.
That's about it. And an extender on your cigarette. So when we're talking about your feet not being on the ground, when you're in a boat, are your feet on the ground? No. When you're in a plane, are your feet on the ground? No.
Not on a successful plane.
When you're on a train, are your feet? No. Et cetera, et cetera. You get the idea. Your feet are on the ground. If they're not on the ground, sometimes things happen.
Yeah, because you're not in control of where your body's going to
Sometimes
move.
your feet are on the ground and you trip and just fall on your own like me. But either way, we start with a story out of Washington State where a teen is very fortunate to be alive after he plummeted 400 feet into a canyon. We've told people to stay off these trails because they're dangerous, but people either haven't seen the warning signs or are disregarding it.
Why do they have trails in places that they think are super dangerous?
That from Tim Ripp of the Mason County Sheriff's Office. Tim, I don't know if we're a near shot of you, but just know this. He's a teenager.
Right. He saw the sign.
There's
He's
a lot
19.
of people that can read the signs. He's a teenager, Tim. That explains everything.
Right.
Why were you having sex in a car in a Target parking lot? Because I live at home with my mom and I'm a teenager, Tim.
You're right.
I mean, this isn't hard to figure out. Either way, well, I'm just saying, he's a teenager.
It's a 19-year-old kid.
There's a reason he's not going to jail. I mean, now he can, but I mean, when you're a teenager,
Sure.
you're still the same mindset. I mean, I know your parents say, "Hey, look out, you're 18," but you're still a teen until about 25.
And look, in the kid's defense, you've done, Miles, I know you've done it. I think we've done it in the same park. Like, just
done what?
You're walking, you're aware there's cliffs.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, for some reason, you're like, I'll just go over here. And then, one day, me and somebody climbed up some. And then once we got up there, I was like, oh, my God, I don't know how we're going to get down.
You walked on a glacier with open crevasses and shorts and tennis shoes.
That was dumb.
Because he wasn't 19.
That was real dumb.
Yeah.
I was like 24.
Right, exactly.
God, that was stupid.
Now, Tim, you can make fun of us for stuff like that, but this kid's a teenager. Either way.
Tim's pissed. How about Tim's side?
I don't think so, man.
Tim, I got you. Next time in Mason County, beer's on you.
He was walking alone Saturday on a trail underneath a high steel bridge, which is one of the nation's tallest railroad bridges, to give you an idea. I mean, this is up there.
Where was it?
Shelton.
It's
Shelton.
The high steel bridge, is that what's called?
It is the
it's a very unglamorous
high
name.
steel bridge. That's
right.
correct.
It's like naming your dog Dog.
Sounds like something that should be in Pittsburgh. NBC notes the teen's rescue took about 2 hours. Firefighters, deputies, they put together a rope system. They pulled the man out of the predicament, hooked him up in a harness all the way back up. He was taken to a hospital, just scrapes to his arms, which is amazing because he fell the equivalent of 40 stories.
Right.
So I don't know if he landed in a tree, a shrub. I don't know what patted his fall.
But either way, he got lucky on the way down.
Did anything pad his fall, or did he just not
Here's
die?
my question. Did he plinko that bitch, or did he just fall straight down into the canyon? I mean, you go dink, 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 dink. Ooh, wow.
I feel like if you do the do dink, you got a better chance of survival just because it keeps slowing you down.
Right.
But it also hurts a lot.
Yeah, they say a handful of people fall off the bridge each year. Apparently, it's common. Most of them die. Rescuers say the
Tim,
terrain in the
ease
area
up on the guy. He didn't die.
is steeper than it. He's going to go in that hospital room and wag a finger.
Come on, Tim.
People come up here just to be stupid, he lamented. Remember, do not hike down next to the bridge.
Tim is bitter. Tim is done with your S.
I think he's just seen it enough.
I know.
He's like, come on,
So
folks.
we're going to say this on behalf of Tim. Stay off the damn trails.
Don't you think
we
the rest-
posted the
yeah.
sign? We don't look. This kid's lucky he survived. God damn it! But we still had to go down and rescue his ass.
Rescuers train all the time for this. You know, like they go out there, they do nothing. They just happen to rappel down someplace and pull up a dummy over their shoulder and all this stuff. Half the time, this isn't a rescue, this is a recovery.
Most of the time, apparently, on that bridge.
They're probably pretty geeked up just to be able to get down there and find somebody alive. And, you know.
I know it sounds awful, but I truly believe this, right? Like, if that's what I do for a living, I'm one of these rescue guys, and, like, I can do a rope rescue from, 400 feet down. You kind of hope that somebody falls off the bridge. Now, you don't want them to die, but you hope they fall off the bridge. Look, if I'm a heart surgeon, I can't lie and say I want you to be healthy. I mean, they're going to tell you that when they're not like, hey, we're here for your health. But deep down, look, man, I spent 8 years in school learning how to do this. I'm so happy that you have heart disease. I don't even know what to do with myself, right?
By the way, if you haven't noticed in the news as well, there are some severe winds that are going on around the world.
Including in my pants.
It's been happening for over a year. Think about what happened on Maui because of the wind.
Oh, right.
Think about what happened across the central part of the United States in the past week because of storms, because of wind, because of all these.
I would say
things.
ask someone in Texas, but they can't take your call.
No, they can't. But Houston still probably underwater without power or whatever the deal.
Wind is devastating.
And
people don't think about it, but
no.
Yeah, and it's bad. I mean, I don't know why that is, but it's bad. So we start with this one. 12 people were injured when it's a cutter. Is that how they say that?
Now, okay. Listen.
I've always heard it as
everyone says
City.
guitar, either because we like guitar or it sounds cool or exotic, but I feel like on the news they say cutter, but to me a cutter is slang for your butt.
We just saw two outside that were fantastic.
Oh, my God.
But I think when they had the World Cup there, they said it was cutter.
Yeah, they started saying cutter, which
I've only called it that because my cousin was deployed out there and he called it guitar. So that's why I took it from
What
that.
do
So,
you
know,
play? Guitar.
With
The flight was on its way to Dublin, hit turbulence on Sunday. 8 of the injured were hospitalized. The airplane did land safely. It was a Boeing 787 Dreamliner. Upon landing, the aircraft was met by emergency services, including airport police, the fire, the rescue department. 6 passengers, 6 crew, basically just banged off the ceiling there. Few sustained minor injuries, a small number of passengers. They were in much worse shape. However, there's a story that's worse than this out of Singapore, but we won't get into that because people passed on and everything else. This one was the one where the plane dropped, everything went nuts. People were basically bouncing.
A guy had a heart attack.
It dropped 180 feet.
Right, and 4.6. The thing was, it's all the G forces. Did you read through that part?
Oh yeah,
it's crazy.
Basically, it's inertia, it's gravitational forces, it's severe drop. I mean, they shot that thing up to like 37 feet to try to get out.
37,000.
To get out of the airflow, and that didn't work. So they dropped the damn thing back down.
My understanding was that an updraft hit the plane and kind of launches it up, but autopilot's on, so autopilot's doing everything it can to put the nose down to get back to their normal flight altitude, but as it did that's what created all these G-forces and sent all these people flying. It wasn't so much just when the plane went up, but once autopilot tried to self-correct, then all these people went up, then it came slamming down.
All right.
Guy has a heart attack and dies.
You're in your seat, and you're no seatbelt on. You're in your regular seat, okay? And this is going to happen. Or you're on the toilet in the bathroom taking a crap, right? Now, knowing how small the bathrooms are, and the fact that you're just going to get bounced around in there pretty good, you're going to get your rattle on. Where would you rather be? Would you rather be in the bathroom when this happens, or would you rather be in your regular seat? Because people are going to be able to hit you, bodies flaring.
I think I'd rather be in the bathroom.
I think I would too. I think I'd take my chances.
I don't know. I mean, I'd rather be I don't know. I just feel like in the seat, it's going to be chaos.
In the seat, it's going to be chaos. And to Miles' point, bags are going to come out of the other thing, bodies are going to hit you. The bathroom is just you, but if I'm pooping, man, you're taking like a 1.5 G turd is going to come out of that toilet. And then the thing is, when it comes back down, though, it's not like it just drops. It's like somebody threw it. Yeah. So you might be less injured than the other passengers, but no one's going to want to be around you. No one. You're going to be covered.
At that point, do you care what other people think about you?
I don't care what they think. I care that there's poop on me, Mike.
That's a pretty good...
When there's poop on me, I'm not like, oh, boy, I hope no one knows.
I think
get it off.
I think no matter what, that seal stays because it's a flap down. And if you've ever heard the vacuum on that bad boy,
if you haven't flushed, it's still there, though, right?
If you're in a porta potty, that's one thing. But that lid,
no, but Thrill's saying because you're not supposed to flush
it
while you're sitting on it.
And I wouldn't. Remember, a woman sucked half of her guts out doing
right. So Thrill's right. If you were actually taking a number 2, in theory, it would still just be sitting on top of that hole.
Yeah. And at 1.5 G's, that turd slamming right back in your butt.
Yeah. Knock on wood, I've not been on a plane in a while that's had some bad turbulence.
Do you guys keep your seatbelt on?
I do.
I do.
Yep.
I do too. I know
I'm not doing anything.
It's not uncomfortable to me.
That's
the
what
least,
I think
that is
too.
the least uncomfortable
I know
thing
some
about
people
flying.
just like unbuckle it right, and I'm just like, I don't know, man. Like, just keep it on.
I mean, do it if you want to, but like, what? How does that? What are you doing? I mean, we can't go anywhere. It's already uncomfortable in the seat. But yeah, the seatbelt doesn't bug me.
Yeah.
And also with the kids, since most of the time I fly, they're with me. I just do it just to set the example. Because if I pop mine off, they're going to pop theirs off. Right. Now, the other example to learn is drink as much beer as you can on any given flight.
I was about to say, that's the example that you're setting. Huh? That's the line you're drawing in the sand.
What my son did learn from me, he even asked me about this, I ordered a Jack and Coke. Because rarely will they just give you a Jack, right? So order the Jack and Coke, but they hand you the Coke separate from the Jack. And then they pop the can for you. And so I shoot down the shot of Jack and then just wash it down with the Coke slowly. But one woman, she caught on to this because I ordered a second Jack and Coke, and she brings it over. So she goes to grab my other Coke can, realizes it's completely full. Now, she didn't say anything, but she just gave me a look, and I was kind of, yeah. I really just want the Jack, but apparently I have to get a Coke with it, so fine.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm just always like, just keep your seatbelt on. Like, I'll get bleach your butt from sitting there for too long. But, like, the seatbelt's not bugging me.
But that's right. That's not what's called. If you got to get them walk around. But, yeah, I have not been thrown out of a seat on a plane so far.
Yeah. 25 people stranded in a small boat off the coast of Mexico were rescued in style Friday when they got picked up by a Carnival Cruise Line ship responding to the U.S. Coast Guard's distress call. They had just departed Long Beach on a 3-day cruise, when the call came in. Carnival says in a statement its ship, the Radiance, immediately turned toward the coordinates of the small vessel, and they rescued everyone on board, including 3 children. After them being given food, water, and medical assistance,
they were pushed back overboard.
Throw them back into the water.
Yes.
No. They were transferred to the Coast Guard, and the cruise schedule was not impacted. They say in late April, another Carnival ship rescued 28 Cuban nationalists. They were stranded at sea and signaled for help. And last month, a Celebrity Cruises ship rescued a smaller boat that was adrift at sea between Mexico and Cuba. So this is becoming more of a regular occurrence there. As far as being on the water is concerned, I've had some bad experiences, but nothing that was too life-threatening. One time I took a canoe over a waterfall in Boy Scouts. That was a little bit intimidating, a little scary. But other than that, I have not had a lot of trouble on the water.
I'm not a big fan of deep ocean, but so when we did that cruise a couple of years ago, I'm like, man, the only thing that bugs me is just the idea of deep-ass ocean. And, of course, your brain always goes to Titanic, right? Just not that I'm worried about that happening, but inevitably that's what you're going to think about. And only one that you don't even notice the water at all, really, because those boats are so big. My wife feels different. She swears she could feel the boat swaying back and forth when we went to bed. I'm like, man, I'm not feeling it. So we went through one windstorm in the week that we're out there. You noticed it that day.
Okay.
It was actually kind of crazy because you realize how big the boat is. And as a smoker, there's an area I had to go to. It's kind of near the pool, but I was watching the water in the pool kind of slosh out. And then I'm getting in my head like, that shouldn't be happening. Then you kind of look out the window and I'm like, man, this bitch might just tip over. I mean, it felt like that, you know, but of course,
the only one I screwed up is I've gotten very used to the ferry system in Seattle.
Yeah.
Which is excellent.
It is.
One of the most widely used ferry systems, I want to say, in the world, at least the country.
Definitely the country.
So I was going out to Martha's Vineyard, right? But it wasn't a car ferry. It was just a people ferry, and it's like the fast ferry. But I didn't take into account that we're going into open ocean.
Yeah.
So like the ferry here, I just walked on. I was like, I'm going to go get a couple beers. People were like, hey, man, it's windy. It's going to be choppy. And I was like, I go on ferries all the time. Get 2 beers. I mean, as I'm turning the corner, it just sways. I fall over.
Did you fall over? Did you fall over?
There's beer all over the place.
Oh, no way.
I mean, it was a big rock. I just kind of like, and there I go.
Okay, all right.
Right, I come back over, and they're like, I remember DB just looks at me and goes, just sit down. All right, sorry. Yeah, Mike, that's exactly what. Sorry. You guys were right. I was like, how bad could it be?
Right. Yeah, I felt terrified on the boat a couple times, but that's out of my control. I'm not the captain of the boat. I've been on a ferry before where, booking to Victoria on the Clipper, and it's foggy, and he's still doing the same speed he normally does. Mm-hmm. I can't see anything. I don't know how in the hell he does. If you were out there in a small fishing boat, man, he's either going to run over top of you because it's a catamaran, or he's going to kill you. I don't know how in the hell they know where they're going.
Oh, there's sonar and radar.
Yeah. Then all of a sudden that clears up. I'm like, oh. Now we can see. This is nice. I like this. And then all of a sudden we hit the Strait of Juan de Fuca. And the waves are like 15, 20 feet high. Like, and I'm like, oh, my God. Why didn't we take the train? This was the worst idea ever. Then, of course, I got pulled over by customs. So the whole trip was a little bit murky. But
well, I mean, that's the thing. You just get so used to our giant ferries that have cars on them and everything. And, there's some weather, especially like November. You get some, but, our ferry system's pretty smooth overall.
It is.
But yeah, Miles, right, you forget. You get in the open ocean, it's just a smaller boat. You're going to get rocked around.
So our question, what happened when your feet were not on the ground? 206-803-ROCK.
Today's episode is sponsored by NerdWallet's Smart Money Podcast. Ready to expand your financial game? NerdWallet can coach you on smart strategies like choosing investments, finding your next credit card, and setting a budget that works for you. Score major points towards your summer vacation by learning expert tips for choosing a high-yield savings account and how to build wealth by investing in index funds. Slide into summer with smarter decisions in 2024. Follow NerdWallet's Smart Money Podcast on your favorite podcast app. Future you will thank you.
Are you a fan of mystery and adventure? Introducing June's Journey, the captivating free-to-play mobile game that will ignite your inner detective. Play as June Parker in a thrilling murder mystery adventure as you search for hidden objects to uncover the truth behind her sister's death. Step into the glamorous world of the Roaring 20s with stunningly illustrated scenes and over 1,000 mysteries to unravel. With new chapters added weekly, you'll never run out of clues to chase and suspects to interrogate. Plus, you can build your own island escape with beautiful gardens and buildings and even join a detective club to collaborate with other players. Experience the thrill of being a detective and unravel the mystery in June's Journey. Download June's Journey now on your Android or iOS device or play on PC through Facebook Games.
1, 2, 3, 4. Those are numbers. But you already knew that. If you want to know what number you're going to pay each month for your car, use Kelly Blue Book My Wallet on Auto Trader. They're really good at numbers. Auto Trader.
Why Kate Farms Nutrition Shakes will take you one step closer to achieving your health goals. First off, every shake is made with high-quality ingredients and organic, plant-based pea protein. Lastly, each Kate Farms Nutrition Shake is designed for easy digestion. Learn more at www.katefarms.com.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Hello. Yeah. We head down to Oregon. Skateboarder was taken to the hospital by lifeline after crashing into a county sheriff's office deputy car. This is according to Oregon State Police. Troopers responded to the crash. They didn't have to. They were a part of it. 29-year-old Zane Everson. Of course his name is Zane. He's a skateboarder. It's not going to be like, that is a skateboard name. Doug. Zane Everson. Riding into a skateboard when he lost control while taking a curve. Crossed into oncoming traffic. Flew through the air before he crashed into the front of an SUV. God damn. Kid's going to be okay. 29 years old.
Not that we had the greatest skateboards back in the day, but one thing I did not realize, I finally got my hands on a skateboard. I remember my mother was pissed. I'm begging her for it. We weren't at Target, but something like that. It was late 70s.
Like a banana board?
Wasn't quite a banana board. It was like, I don't know, a fat one with like those little stingray tail. Whatever. Something you get for a child. But in my mind, this is the coolest thing ever, right? And my mom's like, man, how much is it? I'm like, Mom, it's $5. She's like, oh, my God. And spend $5, times have changed. Anyway, she decides to be nice, get through the skateboard. We lived at the bottom of a hill. Of course, as a kid, I start at the top. I come zooming down. And I had pretty good control. I did not realize how small of a rock it takes to stop a skateboard dead in its tracks.
Oh, yeah.
Well, those wheels were really close together.
Yeah, and I saw it, but I wasn't worried about, I've been riding bikes the whole nine, right over everything, so I'm like, not worried about this little itty-bitty rock as I perceived it, man. I remember that skateboard stopped dead. I'm still like in the skate position, my feet, I'm still in skate position. I'm just not on the board, and then aided as kids do, all knees, elbows, and face.
That's how I ended up eating it on my scooter last year.
Was it a little rock?
It wasn't a little rock. It was, as you're getting onto the sidewalk, there's that little yellow platform that's got a little bumps on it. Yeah. So I was taking the train for the longest time, and when we were doing the Appy Hour, we got out of here anywhere between 6:25 or something like that. Right. And the last train south left at 6:30. Now, when we got out of here, I could sprint down as fast as I possibly could, and maybe I'd make the train. So that year for Christmas, I asked my family if they could get me a scooter. My dad did, thank God. So now I can just roll on down the hill, right? That lasted
Roll on down the hill. That's smart.
That lasted all of about a week, because as I'm coming down there, and it was not very far from here, it was just a couple blocks down, and I was getting up on the sidewalk because the street was starting to get a little dangerous at that point, so I get on the sidewalk. But as I'm going up on that little yellow platform, my tire gets kind of offshot by those little bumps to where the back end came out. So I try to land on my feet, but then the thing's swacking me in the doggone ankles the entire time, and then I go down hard.
How many people were standing around when you went down?
There was a handful. I've fallen a lot of times in public. That was the first time that I actually heard it. You all right, dude?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Is it worse that you fell or that people saw you?
Honestly, did you say you still hurt?
I do still hurt, yeah.
Yeah.
I still can't lift quite as much with my shoulder.
My daughter had a birthday party at the Linwood Bowl and Skating Bowl.
Yeah, whatever.
So it was a indoor rink on one side, bowling alley on this side, right?
Nice.
I have done inline skating before. I'm not great at it, but actual roller skates, different animal, because just learning to steer and everything else with your feet. Okay?
Yeah, I never really got that part down.
So I'm learning this, and I'm doing a decent job at it. Of course, she goes there all the time with her friends, and they skate.
Doing their stuff, right?
Yeah, they're going backwards and doing all that stuff. And basically, you go into an oval, and they got the lights flashing. All I'm thinking about is John Boucher, his hair flowing. But I'm not going very fast. So my daughter grabs me by the hand, and she's on the inside. And she's going to take me and kind of pull me around, you know what I mean? And kind of get my speed up so I can figure out my feet and everything. It's her birthday. I'm holding onto her hand. I'm on the outside. She's on the inside. So we come around this turn. And for whatever reason, she lets go on the turn, just go, okay, Dad, now you got the speed up.
Right.
And there's a place probably about 20 feet away from this where you rent the shoes to bowl.
Yeah.
And I picked up speed, and I am just flying at this counter. I mean, like, vroom, and I'm like, wah! And I mean, wham! I mean, and the counter's about, chest high, whatever. Boom! I go slamming into it, kind of like melt down on the floor, like my ribs broken or whatever the deal was, man. She just like kind of whipped me into the damn thing, and I mean, like, God, that was, and all the kids are laughing. They thought it was great. There were people waiting to get shoes to clear it out of the way, so I'll be going, like,
I feel like that was a pretty consistent move at the roller rink, though. If you really wanted to screw somebody, or at least it was just a game when you were young and stupid, it was just
whip someone around.
You bet, dude. Find the corner, and then you get somebody who's a good anchor on that inside, and then you just whip the living hell out of somebody.
You got the turning down? I'm like, yeah, I'm figuring it out. Zoop.
I mean, that's the tough thing in most skiing, snowboarding.
The turning. And braking, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can't do like pizza and French fries on roller skates.
But I mean, I remember the first time I went skiing as a kid. We went with like our grade school.
Yeah,
it's this like terrible little place, right? I think it was called Ski Liberty. Like they make all the snow and this and that, but same thing. Like I mean, 2 runs in on the bunny slope, like I can't turn. I just crash into a bunch of skis. Same thing. But like also, I was like 12 or 13.
Sure.
So, I mean, I didn't pick them up. I was so embarrassed. I just kind of crashed into them. My skis fell off. I just got up and walked away.
What happened when your feet were on the ground? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Leanne. Welcome to the men's room.
Happy Pearl Jam week, gentlemen.
Hola.
Hola. So, I used to kayak a whole bunch down in California, Monterey Bay area, Santa Cruz.
Lovely.
And it was a very nice spring day. We're having a good time, me and a friend out cruising around. We're heading back in, and my friend, who's probably about 70 yards in front of me, talks to somebody else that's kind of boating by, and then he yells back to me, "They say there's whales out here. They've seen a whale." And just then, he's at the bottom of a rise, and I'm at the top of the wave. And here comes a whale right between us. And I am backpedaling, because if I had ridden the wave over, I would have, rode over onto this whale that was cutting between us.
That's
the crap out of me.
that would. How big is this whale? I mean, not that any of them are tiny, but how big was this whale?
Well, I couldn't see all of it. Its head and tail were still in the water.
Oh, okay.
But like I said, 50 or 70 yards between me and him is what I saw of it. And like I said, no head or tail yet. That was just its back going along the water. So, I don't know, 80, 90 feet maybe.
Jesus. Yeah,
it was big.
Yeah, you know what, though? That's at least your problems out there. There's all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah, people that go
I don't
kayaking,
want to be sitting on my kayak on the back of a whale.
No. Yeah, but think how cool that story would be. But you've seen the videos, the whales will breach up and either fall in a guy's kayak or, they end up, smashing into a sailboat. I've seen one with the sailboat, and there's a couple of them, they're breaching, and they're all jumping out of the water, and the one kind of does, that kind of twist so its back is toward the water, and lands on top of this boat. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, man. Is he the dumb whale? We talked about beavers a while ago, right? Man, they can just fell trees. I'm like, there's no way all of them do it. And then we Googled it, and sure enough, there's a lot of dead beavers with trees on top of them. So I'm wondering, in the whale world, they're aware the boats are there, and all his buddies are jumping. Like anything, we know there's traffic. If you run out into it and get hit by a car, we go, Miles is stupid. Do you think his whale buddies are like, bro, you saw the boat? That a whale in the front of a cruise ship coming into the harbor in New York. He was slow, not stupid. He's right. He's right on the bow. They bring the damn thing in oh my God, there's a dead whale in the front of this boat. They had to radio the captain. The captain didn't know. You got a big ass cruise ship. He hits this whale. They don't know how long it been stuck to the front of the ship, but they're pulling into New York Harbor. There's kids there. There's people waiting for family. And they radio in hey man, there's a big ass dead whale that all these kids are staring at.
Also, if the whale's in the water, though, we don't know how deep he started.
You mean to do his big jump?
Yeah, so maybe he went down and then...
Don't defend him, he's dumb, Ted. Still, you got to look up or echolocation or sonar.
I don't know. Maybe he just jumped and didn't think the boat was there. I think it's crazy people are that close to him.
Well, look, if you're out in the kayak, it's where they live. If you paddle out to them because you're trying to pet it, I go, okay, maybe you're kind of crazy. But in her case, Leanne, hey, man, you're just out there with them. It just happened to cut between. Well, there's also, it's almost like a bicyclist in Seattle, right? All right. You see the stop sign. Bicyclists, they don't see stop signs. It's the same thing. You could go I've been on whale watching trips, right?
Yeah.
Where you go out there and you're on a boat and there is a legal amount of distance you're supposed to stay away from these things. Well, when you're on a tour like that, everyone obliges. All those charters, all those captains, even most of the local boaters that are out there, they oblige. Who are the bicyclists of the world out there? The kayakers, the guys on paddleboards. They're the ones that they just start going right over. Well, let's go see whale. It's a different mentality. You know what I mean? Let's go. I don't know why that is, but it is, because I've seen it happen. I'm like, those guys are paddling right over there. Toward a whale, yes. Toward the whales. All right. And we're here, and we're fine, and we're not bothering them, but here come the water cyclists.
They can get closer, though, right? Because the whole thing is the engines mess with the whale.
Sure. Maybe so, but still the distance between you and a whale, if you want to get that close, just understand that, like she was saying, maybe something bad could possibly happen. Well, they would say whales are fairly docile, but once you put fairly in front of anything, I go, okay, well, that's not 100%. Right. Yeah. And if this whale's having a bad day because his friends have been calling him stupid because he jumped on the boat yesterday. Yeah, my 300-pound friend who accidentally bumps into me might knock me down, where my 120-pound friend maybe will just bruise me. Right. There's a big difference.
I like those whales. We found out now they're just attacking ships to have fun.
That's what they came up with, the killer whales.
Basically, they're like young...
Off the coast of Spain.
Yeah, they're like young orca... Or I don't know if... They are orcas, right?
Yeah, it's orcas. They say they're teenagers that are just playing around.
Yeah, they're just like, let's go mess with that thing.
Tim wouldn't like him. Oh, Tim would be like, God damn it! Did you see the size? Freaking way! Don't mess with the yachts!
Apparently the orcas do this all the time. If they see one having fun, they like the idea.
Then they all emulate.
Right, so I guess for a while out here in the state of Washington, these whales kept wearing salmon hats. Because one whale surfaced and he had a dead salmon on his head. And the other orcas saw it and were like, cool. And it became like a thing they were doing for a while. They would surface with a dead salmon on their head.
You're being serious, right?
I'm being dead serious. I read this yesterday.
Comedy.
I don't know why I'm laughing so much.
Orca whales, big in the hipster culture.
Oh my God! Tim has a fish on his head.
That is hilarious.
That is so in right now.
Mom, look.
That dude looks so cool. And they're probably like, look, we're whales. We've never worn hats. Why didn't we think of that?
He's got a seaweed wristband.
Right, so that's kind of the issue with these ones in Spain. Like, they're just teenagers that are like, this is fun. So, like, how are you going to stop people from doing it? It's like telling golfers not to mess with the ball that's near the bees.
Right.
It's got to happen.
Yeah. What happened when your feet weren't on the ground? 206-803-RIDE.
Right.
Hello, Phil. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, Pacholas.
Hola.
I was working in Boise, Idaho for an airplane company, and we developed an ag plane, and we just finished up with the FAA doing their first test flight in it. Got to the evening time, and Dean said, hey, Phil, you want to go flying? I said, oh, yeah, hell, let's go flying. And so, but an ag plane only has one seat. So we took the lid off the hopper, and I climbed down inside the hopper, and we go out and we go flying. Well, anyway, he goes up and does a stall on me, and I start to come up out of the hopper. I just hanging on for my life, trying to keep myself pushed down inside the hole. He had a seat belt and a parachute on.
Thanks.
And it took my breath away.
Well, I bet it did. What is supposed to be in the auger? Is that supposed to be fertilizer? Is that water? Is that seed?
It can be fertilizer. It can be liquids if they're spraying. We had it set up to do a lot of different things. It actually was the first actual designed ag plane. All the rest of the ag planes at the time were all modified airplanes that were already in existence. And so, which is really cool. But anyway, unfortunately, it was called the Eagle Aircraft Company, and they didn't make it. But anyway, it was a lot of fun working there. Got to go flying a lot and stuff. So anyway, so I am upset. We're still flying around, so I start pointing out towards the end of the wing where the guide wire. This was a bi-wing airplane, and I was pointing out the end like there's something wrong. And he's in there just starting to freak out that there really is something wrong with the wires. And I kind of see him. He's really getting uptight. So, I finally wave at him. No, I'm just joking. Ha, ha, ha. So we head back to Glider Air Park, and this is in a draw. And so we were going over the top of the hills, just clipping the sagebrush, following the hills and stuff, and hopping fences like they normally do in an ag plane. And so we get to this other where it comes into a Glider Air Park, and it rolls it up on edge. So now we're, how did you say? Yeah, so we're 90 degrees to the ground and come in through there and set it down. And my heart was pounding so bad at the end of that. But it still, gives me goosebumps thinking about it.
Would you do it again? If he said, I'm going to do the exact same thing, would you do it?
Oh, yeah.
All right. There you go. I had a feeling it was terrifying. Scariest thing I've ever done. Hell yeah, I'd do it again, man. Absolutely.
I've never been in a small aircraft. I have been in a small commuter aircraft.
Right, but not like a
for an hour.
Cessna or anything like that.
I've never been in a small plane where I knew the guy. The guy shook my hand and said, I'm flying this bitch.
Have you done we're talking about this, doing it with the kids, the seaplane thing, like flying over to San Juan's or anything like that?
I've never done that.
I haven't. I want to do that, though. I want to take it over to Lopez.
Taking a ferry.
Take it where?
To Lopez Island.
Why? What's the... I'm only asking. Somebody brought it up yesterday.
No, I know some people that
live there.
Yeah. Okay. Like the planes land right in front of I think it's the Islander Resort or whatever on Lopez. I've been over there. It's cool. Cool little tiki bar. So I'm like, that would be simple. Instead of driving up to Anacortes and getting on a ferry.
Because my wife's like, well, there's a couple of different places we could go. And I'm like, what difference does it make? Now I'm going to tell her.
I'd still go to
Lopez.
Go to Friday Harbor. I think there's more to do.
Yeah, Lopez is pretty small.
Yeah, it's a little
But
tiny.
There's a tiki. What else do you think
no, Friday Harbor,
do?
basically you just roll in there, and that's all it is bars and restaurants right when you walk off the docks.
Okay, but just land
There's a hotel
wherever.
right there, exactly.
Is it the whole family or just you and the wife?
It depends. If we're going to go somewhere and go drinking, it's going to be just me and the wife. If the kids are with us, then I'll drink subtly. I guess that's the way to put it.
I just take the wife then. What happened when your feet weren't on the ground? 206-803-ROCK. Weekend sleepover time, kids.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Hello, Fred. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello.
Hola.
Hello, bitches. Yeah, I fell 30 feet out of a tree December 22nd, 1982.
How old were you?
30.
30.
Why were you doing up there? Lose your football?
No, it's worse than that. We were notching alder trees and pulling them down with a mooring line, which is a big, 1.5-inch nylon line. But the first tree we did, I only had a 16-foot ladder, and I wanted to get a little higher up, so I put the 16-foot ladder on top of my roof of my house and leaned it against the tree. And then I went out to the end of the ladder, and I tied the ladder to the tree, pulled up the mooring line, tied it off to the tree, got back down off the ladder, and my friend pulled the tree over, and everything was fine. And the next tree, I decided to take a shortcut, and it was a higher part of the house. So I had a 16-feet ladder and a 17-foot tall house, so I was about 30 feet up. I went out to the end of the ladder and decided I just pulled the mooring line out without tying the ladder to the tree. And my wife had just come out and observed the operation and said something in disgust and went into the house. And the next thing she heard was aluminum clanking, and she immediately called 911 because she knew what it was.
Were you still holding on to the ladder when you fell?
No. The ladder, the only thing I remember is the S word. And I didn't even finish it before I hit the ground. And I landed almost perfectly. My right ankle, my right hip, my right shoulder, and right side of my head all hit at the same time. But my right arm was tucked under my ribs. So my ribs dislocated my radius and compound fractured my ulna.
Oh, Jesus. Was that the end of your tree days?
No, that was the end of my ladder on the roof of the house without tying it off days.
Fair enough.
All right. Okay.
As long as one lesson's learned out of that. Yeah.
What happened when your feet were not on the ground? 206-803-ROCK.
Are you a fan of mystery and adventure? Introducing June's Journey, the captivating free-to-play mobile game that will ignite your inner detective. Play as June Parker in a thrilling murder mystery adventure as you search for hidden objects to uncover the truth behind her sister's death. Step into the glamorous world of the Roaring '20s with stunningly illustrated scenes and over 1,000 mysteries to unravel. With new chapters added weekly, you'll never run out of clues to chase and suspects to interrogate. Plus, you can build your own island escape with beautiful gardens and buildings and even join a detective club to collaborate with other players. Experience the thrill of being a detective and unravel the mystery in June's Journey. Download June's Journey now on your Android or iOS device or play on PC through Facebook Games.
Start your summer road trip at Midas and get up to $30 off your next repair service. Plus, get a free closer look vehicle check to make sure you're road trip ready. So if you need brake service, and alignment check, or tune-up, hit up Midas for up to $30 off. For more details, request your appointment at Midas.com.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Are you ready to unleash superior seating performance on your operation? Choose from two revolutionary Great Plains drills. The BD 7600 Min-Till drill, renowned for its seating consistency, large capacity, and innovative technology, including drill command. And the new BD 7410 drill, whose transport width under 10 feet delivers great maneuverability through gates and down narrow roadways. Each model is engineered for the proven performance you've come to expect from Great Plains.
What are you doing?
My weekly planner.
On your iPad?
On the Zinnia app. It has all different templates and creative tools. It's so much fun. I can import photos and add stickers.
You haven't heard of Zinnia? It helps me keep track of my kids' sports and dance classes right from my iPhone. Zinnia even helps me save important moments, like when my daughter scored the winning goal last week, I was able to upload a picture and the final score.
Wow, okay, it seems like everyone but me uses Zinnia. How do I spell it? Zinnia? All right, I'm downloading it now.
Start your summer road trip at Midas and get up to $30 off your next repair service. Plus, get a free closer look vehicle check to make sure you're road trip ready. So if you need a brake service, an alignment check, or tune-up, hit up Midas for up to $30 off. For more details, request your appointment at Midas.com.
Want a natural way to reduce fine lines and wrinkles? Dermaclear's got you. Our 100% medical-grade silicone face patches are meticulously formulated for visible improvements in as little as 20 minutes and lasting results in 30 days or get your money back, guaranteed. They're safe and reusable and enhance your skin's natural healing process. Embrace the future of skincare and join countless satisfied customers who've transformed their skin with Dermaclara. Visit dermaclara.com today and say goodbye to wrinkles and hello to beautiful, healthy skin.
My neighbor Ned brags a lot about his smart home. So I showed him my ecobee smart home. Turns out ecobee's a lot smarter. So tell the Ned on your block about ecobee. Just yell, "Get yourself a smarter home." Visit ecobee.com today.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith from the Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
99.9 KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
KISW's Halloween Hullabaloo, starring Godsmack. Hailstorm, The Warning, and Flat Black is coming that Sunday, October 13th. Showwear Center in Kent. Tickets on sale now, KISW.com.
And they're not stupidly expensive.
And they are not dumb at all. As far as the price goes, $45.50 gets you in.
Right.
The door, all right? A limited number of tickets do remain. Not sure about the VIP experience. From what we understood, that was selling pretty good the last time we checked on that as well.
Yeah.
So if you want to go to the show, head to KISW.com for your ticket details and information. All right, question, what happened when your feet were not on the ground? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Dane. Welcome to the men's room.
How's it going, guys? Hola.
Hola.
Yeah, so I have a fun story to share with you guys.
Oh,
I went
perfect.
bungee jumping in Africa.
Nope. Sorry. Look, man, I've jumped out of planes, a couple of that stuff. I don't know what it is about bungee jumping. I find that to be the most terrifying of hot air balloons, all that stuff.
Was
bungee
it
jumping is terrifying.
off a bridge?
Yeah, so it was the bridge in between Zimbabwe and Zambia, right next to Victoria Falls.
Damn. Is that the tallest falls in the world?
It's that in Niagara. I can't remember. One has like a higher water volume. The other one is the tallest one. I can't remember.
Is there one in South America, too?
There's Angel Falls in Venezuela, Victoria Falls. Niagara, I think, is volume of water. It's not super tall, but there's
there's Granite Falls here.
Yeah,
But yeah, so I went bungee jumping off that, and I believe, if I remember correctly, it was 111 meters. It was like 8 seconds of free fall, and it was over crocodile-infested rivers.
Oh, what about this said, like, I want to do this? Everything you've explained so far sounds terrible to me.
Oh, yeah, I was 16. It was hilarious.
Okay.
What is the feeling like when the bungee cord just kind of starts to, get a little bit
taut
taut
again?
and then, snaps you back?
It's not actually that bad, but the G-force was so hard that it actually made, like, the capillaries in my eyelids pop, and so when it came up, I had all these little red bumps on my eyelids because the G-force is so hard.
Did they tell you this in advance, or is it just something for you to discover on your own?
No, that was how I discovered it.
So when it comes to this bungee jump thing, now, do they push you over, which is what they would have to do with me, or do they just say, go?
So they do push you over. They say 3, 2, 1, bungee, and they push you.
Okay.
But they probably push you at 2.
Yeah, I would.
And so it's a very short notice, but you're going off that bridge.
And like you said, it's just a dead free fall. So you get about 8 seconds before the bungee cord starts to slow you down?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
And how far, when you're done bouncing up and down, and now you're just dangling from the bungee cord, how far above this crocodile-infested waters are you?
After you're done bouncing around, I mean, you're a good solid probably 20 meters away from the water. But at first, when you start going down, you get kind of close to the water.
All right.
Yeah, I would think so.
Let me ask you. Okay, that's a controlled environment to some degree.
To some degree, yes.
Was that the most dangerous thing you did? Did you do a walking safari? Did you do anything else?
Go swimming in that lake?
Yeah. Did you do anything else that, had that kind of a risk element to it?
I have a bunch of stories on that. I mean, I've been hunted by a lion twice, and I've outran an elephant.
I remember you calling. Yeah. Yep.
That's I think I'd rather bungee jump.
Would you bungee jump again?
Yeah, given those two options,
Right.
I'm bungee jumping.
Yeah. Would you bungee jump again?
Oh, totally. Yeah, it was fun.
Have you done it since, or is that your one and only time?
That was the one and only, but man, if I get a chance, I'll do it again, because at the time, that was the largest bungee jump in the world. I think they made a bigger one now, but at the time, that was the largest bungee jump in the world.
Now, are you an adrenaline junkie, or is it just that opportunity presented itself and you said, hell with it, I'm doing it?
Kind of an adrenaline junkie. But that's just me,
All right, let me ask you this. What gave you a bigger adrenaline rush? When you're free falling off of a bridge toward crocodile-infested waters, knowing that a lion is hunting you, or knowing that an elephant is charging you?
The biggest adrenaline was probably the bungee jump, honestly.
Really?
Because I knew about I saw the elephant. I woke up my parents, or my dad. And
not your mom. I get it.
Yeah, she was in the car already. The lion we knew about a couple days ahead of time.
How long does a lion stalk you if someone tells you, say, 3 days in advance, hey, you're being hunted by a lion, and 72 hours later, I'm telling you, it's still hunting you?
It was probably 2 days. I remember my brothers were out on a safari with us, and they both had to pee, but there was no bathroom in the huts that we were in. And so they had to go to an outhouse. Well, they were not having anything with that. So while one of them was holding a rifle, the other one would pee off the cliff right outside their front door. And then they swapped off, like, here's the rifle. Okay, you keep an eye on me. And then the next morning, the lion was right outside stalking us.
And do you just have to wait it out? Do you fire the gun into the air? What do you do for it to go away?
Because we weren't allowed to hunt a lion, we could only fire at it if it actually,
was going to kill you.
Did you have a laser pointer?
I should have had a laser pointer.
Do you have a ball of string?
Do you have a lit candle you could put on top of something?
Yes. Do you have an empty grocery bag that you brought back from home? A box that you took?
Do you have an Amazon box with nothing in it?
Exactly.
These things work for all cats.
What scares them? Is it like a banana or a cucumber or something?
Cucumber.
Yeah.
Do you have a cucumber? Got all these things with it now.
I wonder if a lion would have the same response to a cucumber.
Ted, they do this thing in West Virginia called bridge.
I bet a lion's never seen a cucumber.
That's what I mean. So does it have the same? Cats act like they've never seen a cucumber. Like, bro, it's a cucumber.
But you would love this. They close the bridge down. It's a party all day long. And people either...
Where is this?
In West Virginia. They either parachute off the bridge or they bungee jump. But they shut the bridge down. They serve beer. They've got hot dogs up there. They've got
Sounds like a great idea.
Food trucks. And basically...
Base jumping.
It's just a huge party on this bridge watching people either bungee jump or parachute off. So they'll, people will do flips. They'll do all kinds of crazy stuff. But people, it is like an all-day party on this bridge. So it's like the closest thing that West Virginia has to anything that's like an all-day.
It looks like a good
party.
It's like West Virginia Seafair.
Yeah, pretty much. And they just watch people jump off the bridge.
I'd do it. I'd hang out on a bridge with a cooler and watch people jump.
I would say, would you bungee jump?
No.
There's boaters in the river. They're watching everybody come down. So there's a party on the river. There's a party on the bridge.
What's better, partying on the bridge or partying down on the river?
I've never been down the river. I've only been on the bridge. But they have bands up there and all that stuff. And you just watch these people and you look down and you're like, there's no way.
Right.
I'm not bungee jumping off this. There absolutely is no way. What happened when your feet weren't on the ground? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Ian. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hola.
So, well, I've been scuba diving for many years, but I was in Fiji when I was a teenager, and we were out, in the middle of nowhere on a reef, kind of a spire, really bad waves. I apparently jumped off the wrong side of the boat, and the boat went up on a 6-foot swell and came down my head.
Oh, Jesus, man. So what happens after the boat hits your head?
The last thing I can really remember, besides the way back, which was like an hour and a half boat ride, was my mast falling like 100 feet.
So you didn't get hit by the propeller, though?
No, luckily, but I did get knocked in front of the propeller, and it blew out my left eardrum.
Damn, man.
So does that just naturally heal?
It's still pretty messed up, but it was terrible for a few weeks.
How long ago did this happen? Like you said, a teenager.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm 40 now. I was probably 17 or 18 at the time, maybe.
All right. Now, do you still scuba dive?
I haven't in a few years, but I would still do it, yes.
And what is the scariest thing you saw when you're underwater?
Nothing's really that scary underwater, to be honest.
What'd you see on the water?
I don't think like, well, underwater, no.
All right. I don't like the way you said that.
Everybody says sharks are scary, right? Underwater, they're not. But if you're snorkeling on top of the water, they can be.
Okay.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You don't look like food when you're in the water with them.
Yeah. You have more control over your own space, and they don't really bother you.
Have you ever done
underneath the water?
Have you ever done the thing where it got close and you had to shove his nose away?
No.
Yeah, but that's his buddy Scott.
No, away from me. I did one actual quote unquote shark dive where you go down and they feed the sharks, and it was really lame.
Really? What seemed lame? Did you just expect more, or the sharks like not hungry?
No, they're always hungry, apparently, but you just you just kind of drop down to the bottom, and then they put a box full of food in front of you, and you just sit there and they swim around.
So it's like working the soup kitchen, but you're just doing it aquatically.
Barracudas are the ones, man.
Yeah.
They're 2 dots or 3 dots, and then you see these teeth.
Yeah.
And then they typically all turn together at the same time in unison on a dime, 90 degrees. And then you see a 6-foot-long silver fish, and you see how big the mouth is and the teeth, and you're just like, I'm out. I'm out. I don't want to hang out here anymore. I'm done.
What's the deepest you've dived?
A little over 150 feet.
Can you still do that with your ear?
Because I have done it since that time many times, but I haven't done it recently, like I said.
Okay. All right. What happened when your feet weren't on the ground? 206-803-ROCK.
All right, would you scuba dive? Scuba, not snorkel. Scuba.
My uncle does it. He loves it. He says it's much much more comfortable than snorkeling. I would give that a shot for sure.
Because I know bungee jumping's on. You're asking me about scuba dive? I mean, how deep are we talking?
It's the whole thing. Like, I know you're afraid of the ocean. Would you scuba dive? Because now you can see everything that's going on under there. You can breathe under there. You got fins so that you can swim nice and fast.
Well,
does that alleviate any of the fear?
Hell no.
Yeah.
No. Look, man, I understand. I got protected. Yes, I can breathe. Yes, I can swim faster with all that good stuff, but I don't feel any more secure about my environment.
No.
It's kind of like, hey, man, we gave you some brass knuckles and a butcher knife. Go hang out with a lion. Like, it doesn't make me feel any better.
Mike, do I have a goal, or am I just scuba diving?
Just scuba diving.
Like, am I grabbing lobsters or like spear fishing?
Just checking out the reef down there. You're looking at all the fish.
I go scuba diving like Elliott Bay
at night.
Sure.
Okay.
Here's an intelligent.
Oh, now you're out.
That's different, dude. Water's creepy at night.
Mike, here's an intelligent wife.
You're creepy at night.
Okay, we're on vacation and we are snorkeling, but we have fins on.
Yeah.
So if you want to take a dive, depending on your ears and how far you can dive down,
sure.
You get my wife was a swimmer, so she was pretty good at diving, and the lower she went down, it didn't bother. So we're on this big wall, and she dives down, I dive down. And she stops for a minute. She's looking around. She comes back up and she's like, hey, you got to see this on this wall. This fish is smiling at me.
Fish do not smile.
So then she takes off and goes down, right? And again, it's a pretty good wall. And there's a current going through there because we were in a cove and now we're out kind of where the water's coming through. So I dive down there. And as I'm diving down, she's in front of me. And I see this huge green moray eel come out of the wall about 1.5 feet, all right? And
is that what she thinks is smiling?
It was
at her?
probably about 8 inches wide. I mean, this
Right.
thing was thick. Goes back in. She goes right in front of that hole. She grabs my arm, and she's like, and I'm like, I grabbed her arm, and I mean, I swam as hard as I could up to the top, and I'm like, baby, it's a moray eel, man. I mean, like, they'll just take a chunk out of you for fun, man. And she's like, and then I looked, and the entire wall was filled with moray eels in these holes because they sat there waiting for the small fish to swim by them. Boom, 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 boom.
Or very dumb snorkeling.
They just come out, man, and they just peck them off, you know what I mean? And go right back into their hole. And that's how they hunt.
This is a grown-ass woman who thought that it was smiling.
She thought that this thing...
Well, their teeth kind of
they
but
stick
it's
out.
not smiling.
That's what I said.
I know,
I
but
said-
still.
And that's what I said.
It's like our buddy Simple
That's
Jack
what I said.
over there at the
We're-
Pizza
we're-
Lake. He's
we're
not
done.
actively eating an apple. It just looks like
Yeah.
he's trying to.
Yeah. Right. Yes. Another trip, she goes, look, there's a baby shark. And I'm like, where's the mom at? I mean, because like anything else, babies, right? I mean, like,
Do baby sharks hang out?
I don't know
Right.
that.
Until you have an answer, like, I'm going to leave it alone.
Hey,
I mean, according to the song they did.
baby shark?
Baby shark.
Yeah.
I need to listen to that song more. Get my shark knowledge
I'm
up
not
to date.
sure how accurate the song is, or just for children. But there is Baby Shark,
Well,
then
the
the
baby
mom
shark
shark,
was still about 2 feet
Dad
long.
Shark,
Yeah,
Grandma
so I figured,
Shark.
you know, like
Yeah, that's
baby cub. I mean, stick it.
I mean, mammals
Get
I
your ass out of
know. I don't know the shark. Either way, even a baby shark, I might just leave it alone.
I'm out. What happened when your feet weren't on the ground? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Tom. Welcome to the men's room.
How you doing?
Oh, good news, Miles.
Bicholas. It's been a while since I talked to you. Last time I called you guys, I was talking about flip-flops.
Well, that must
All
have
right.
been...
It's almost summer.
yeah.
The Sharks abandoned their children.
Flip-flops. Now we got a different story going on. Now,
my
I'm, in,
dad.
I'm in Las Vegas. It's 1991. I'm going to watch Santana open for the Dead. And I'm very back row in the horseshoe of UNLV. And as I'm on a heavy trip, beautiful two hits, all of our friends having a great time. It was a long show because Santana ended up dropping with them. Basically, I go from the top row, very back middle, and I decide I'm going to fly. And I jump forward, and it turns out as I jump forward, my friends start to catapult me like a rock star jumping into a crowd, and hands start catapulting me down, and I go down. And next thing you know, I'm going down like 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 people, and I'm starting to go down with my feet backing up and my arms out. And
Once again, bedroom colors, here are the 7 words you can't say on the radio. Sucker, mother...
He's reliving that,
and
man.
Please keep those words in mind when calling. Now, back to the program.
A little crowd serving.
All right, Tom, how long were you...
apologize.
Sorry, man. How
Got a little
long...
worked up there, Tom.
Just fired up, man. I've done almost a sheet of acid in my life, and it's been since I was 25, so I've had a lot of lucidity.
How long did they keep you up there?
I would say it felt like, I swear to God, it felt like, I'd say 3-4 minutes, but it probably was about more like 10, 15 seconds.
Now, did you end up staying down there? Since you're...
I basically, what happened?
Once again, bedroom colors, here are the 7 words you can't say on the radio.
We believe you.
Sucker, mother... And please keep those words in mind when calling. Now, back to the program.
We need to reach out to management and say, like, look, man, now we know this is going to sound, but we play the, hey, these are the words you can't say. Can we play it unbeeped so that there's no question about the words you cannot say?
I think, you know what it is? I think sometimes people just get too comfortable using the S word.
Yeah,
I mean, even us in public, right?
Absolutely.
Like you don't curse around your kids, but I feel like if I heard you curse around, the first slip up would probably be the S word.
It'd be an S word.
Because like I was conscious of it visiting family, but for some reason, the S word comes out. It's like he didn't even think about it.
Ted,
You know, he just said it again.
Ted, Danny from the morning show. He's got his daughter in here, right?
All right.
Okay. We're all... Ryan's in here, and, you know, we're all just talking, and we're hanging out and having a good time this morning. And, I mean, it was... I was trying to watch my mouth. Castle's not used to being around children.
Which was very clear.
So it's just like, you know, every other word. I'm like, golly,
And he's just dropping F-bombs. He's not angry. He's just talking.
Yeah, exactly.
So F and then he realizes Danny's daughter's standing there, so he's like, yeah, sorry, I'm not a role model. And then goes right back to talking. It's just like...
So, I mean, some people, and you don't realize it until you're like, I don't know. There's just some people that just every other word is a curse word.
For sure.
And it's like, right? Like, you got to, I mean, yeah, I was at a cookout at my buddy's house, and like, his kids are there. There was a couple people that just... One of my friends said, quote, like, this meal F's. Right. Oh. And we were like, easy. Like, this is the third time I have told you. And, like, you're sitting next to him, right? Like, he's in middle school.
Funny, my kid actually asked me the other day, it's like...
She was right there. The food was delicious.
Dad, I want to see the boys. I was like, look, bro, I want you to see it. When you get older, you can. I said, your mother put it in good perspective. You're more likely to see Deadpool unedited than the boys. And it's like, I know a lot of bad words. I said, there's like 10 you don't know. Right. And there's a character named Butcher who uses them all, bro. And
The boys is rough for me. Yeah, I'm 43, and I'm like, ooh.
Good God, man.
What happened when your feet were not on the ground? 206-803-ROCK.
Look around. You can find cars like these on AutoTrader. New cars, used cars, electric cars, maybe even flying cars. Okay, no flying cars, but as soon as they get invented, they'll be on AutoTrader. Just you wait. AutoTrader.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
This season on Nada Yada Island.
When we were new, they spoiled me. They even gave me a phone. But then, it's like I didn't exist.
Don't take yada yada from your wireless carrier. Now with Metro, get that new customer feeling again and again. Introducing Metro Flex. Free 5G phones when you join, same deals as new customers when you stay. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Just bring your number and ID and sign up for an eligible plan. After 12 months, trade in and get our best deals on select devices.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
So, you keep trying to get in shape and it keeps not working. I'm Lacey Green, a super trainer with Body. That's BODI.com. And I've got a story you have to hear. I have a client who came to me because she was really frustrated that every gym or trainer she tried made her feel bad because she was a beginner. She had tried it all and she just felt humiliated. And that's when we started working together and I took her through my 3-week program called For Beginners Only. Once she realized that she wasn't the problem and that she just needed the right program, she started to get results. And now she's completely unstoppable and feeling so strong and confident. And I can do the same for you. On the Body app, subscribers lose 5 to 10 pounds consistently in their first month. And I bet you will too. In fact, CNN_ just named Body Best Fitness App. And right now, Body has a special introductory offer. The next 500 new users who sign up for a year of Body save 72%. That's just 33 cents a day. All you have to do is go to body.com. That's BODI.com.
99.9 KISW. The men's room returns with Miles and Thrill.
Scott, tickets every day, May 420 is your time for the code word. Text that to 206-803-ROCK. That's coming up in just here a few minutes. In the meantime, our question, what happened when your feet were not on the ground? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Mike. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bichola.
Hola.
Hey, a couple stories back. You guys nearly made me pee my pants. I was thinking the same thing. A wall of moray eels are looking for little fish or stupid swimmers. Mm-hmm. That is on point.
Yep. Probably while they were smiling. They're laughing like she keeps coming back.
I'm driving through Indiana. I was going to a specialized electronics school for the Navy in Great Lakes, Illinois. My buddy had lived in a little town in Indiana, driving through there with my girlfriend from Indiana, and I see a sign on a fence that says helicopter rides, $20.
Oh, you know it's safe.
I know, right? Slammed on the brakes. We go in there, wake this guy up, and he's a Vietnam vet. And he takes us around his barn, and he's got this helicopter that looks like a fly's eye.
Right.
It's this bubble, 2-seater bubble helicopter. And oh my gosh, he takes us up and my girlfriend was like 92 pounds, 5 foot, 92 pounds. So we get in, strap the seatbelts on, and this guy is smiling the whole time. Takes us up. I don't know how high we were. And I looked over at him and I just winked and he smiled and he dove like 200 feet, brought it up steady, and then just tilted it 90 degrees. So our door is looking straight out at the ground, and there's no doors on the thing. It's open cockpit, and oh my gosh, my girlfriend screamed like she was gonna die, and I laughed. This guy was an expert pilot.
Well, thank God he was.
How long is the helicopter ride?
Oh, we were out for at least an hour. He took us everywhere.
Is there anything interesting
That's
to
what I
look
was
at
going
in
to say.
Indiana?
Like, yes, he can dive down because he's got to entertain you.
Right.
I mean, you're flying over Indiana.
Yeah, so like, what was the view where you're like, wow.
Look at that. Whatever crop that is.
It was all his skills that was the entertainment. The guy was amazing.
Okay, that makes sense. I was just thinking Indiana, man. I mean, I did it in Hawaii. I found it terrifying, but everything you said, ocean, volcanoes, all the stuff you'd want to see. Mm-hmm. Indiana, like, okay.
There's a core.
I mean, helicopter rides, you've never been in one, are just kind of cool to begin with, I think.
They are.
Like, I've only done it once. It was just
where at
the College Park Air Show.
Oh, okay. All right.
Same thing. I mean, you're just looking down at neighborhoods and baseball fields and everything, but I'm just like, I like him. I would have been like, helicopter rides. All right. Now,
I mean, look, I would do it too. I'm just saying, and like, I would know we're not going to see anything. We're just going to be in a helicopter.
Just to be able to identify things. I mean, hell, I do that in an airplane. Like, ooh, look, there's Gasworks Park. Sure wish I had a parachute. I could just get out now. Avoid all the SeaTac crap.
I just find 5. I'm like, there's our house. It'll take another hour and a half to get there.
What happened when your feet weren't on the ground? 206-803-ROCK.
Yeah, I'm with you.
It's so frustrating. Like, I know we just flew out of the house. I get it. I can't just jump out of the plane, but I got to go to see it. It's going to take forever. My bags aren't going to show up forever. And there's mine. It's right there.
I do it with golf courses. I played there.
It's one thing that drives my brother crazy, right? So when he does his NFL officiating thing, as a rule, even if the game you're going to officiate is in your hometown, you still have to stay at the official hotel.
All right.
So anytime he does the Commanders, because he lives right outside of D.C. So put it this way, he called me one time, I was talking on the phone. I'm asking about the game coming up. He's like, no, I got the Commanders, man. I'm like, oh, it's perfect. You can just drive home after the game. He's like, I'm driving by the stadium right now because I have to go like another 15 miles deep because I have to go to the hotel, and then I have to drive back.
So he has to go to the hotel to get his car, or even to the stadium and drive from there.
He has to drive from the stadium is between him and the hotel. He lives there. Stadium's maybe 15 minutes away. He drives by the stadium, has to go south, stays in the hotel, then gets on the official's bus that takes him to the stadium. Then it takes them back to the hotel.
So he has to drive by all the game day traffic.
He's like, dude, this should be a 30-minute round trip for me. But just with NFL rules, he's like, yeah, it's about 3 hours.
He'd be better off flying to Boston.
Yeah, no kidding.
I feel his pain. Back when I was working on the street team here, I was living at home in Enumclaw.
All right.
When we did Pain in the Grass, I had to drive from Enumclaw past the amphitheater all the way up here to Seattle so I could load up the truck, ride all the way down there, do Pain in the Grass, load the truck back up, ride all the way back up to Seattle here again, offload the truck, and then drive back past yet again the amphitheater and all the way back home.
Yeah, it's like that.
It's like, guys, I understand that you need my help loading the truck, but could we not and I just meet you guys there?
Right.
What happened when your feet were not on the ground? 206-803-ROCK.
We were talking about, yes, I know. Like, there's nothing you could do in those situations, but just going past your destination and then just come back. It's like, that sucks.
Mm-hmm. Hello, Jason. Welcome to the men's room.
What's up?
Hola.
Long-time listener, second-time calling.
Nice. Welcome back.
Hey, quick backstory. My girl emailed in on the April 25th to do a birthday shout-out. She ended up getting me bungee jumping tickets down south in southern Washington.
Now, is this something you had let her know you wanted to do, or she's just encouraging you to do it?
We've been dating for almost 3 years, and I've talked about, a couple bucket list things, like bungee jumping out of a hot air balloon or skydiving. Well, hot air balloon wasn't an option.
Okay.
So we found a bridge, 20 stories. which is equivalent to 213 feet.
Yeah,
roughly.
somewhere around there.
And so we get there. I'm on the platform, and I tell you what, I wasn't afraid on the ledge, but the jump itself, I thought I committed suicide.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but yeah, I would think the ledge would terrify me, but certainly once I leave the security of the ledge, I would think this is a bad idea.
I would assume the flying through the air would be the fun part. That would be the liberating aspect of the entire thing.
Well, it was for the first 2 seconds.
Okay.
Up until you're literally face down staring at the water below going, when is this going to pull me back up? And like the gentleman spoke earlier about it wasn't the recoil coming back up. It was that G-force when you're getting tugged back up at the very bottom.
Right, so in that moment.
So like it feels like all the blood just went right to the top of your head, kind of?
Right to the top of the head. It was literally right before it started tugging. I could have sworn I was dead.
But I mean, you've seen bungee jumping. Like, I don't know. Like, I never look at bungee jumping and be like, I must be comfortable when it gets taut and yanks you back up.
So here's the thing. The guy was like, well, because I told him I was going to do skydiving in the beginning. And he goes, you should have done that. That's the easier part. And I'm like, okay, cool. You tell me now. So I get reeled back up. Within 10 seconds, I dive again going backwards just to get a free T-shirt.
So, all right. So what?
We could have given you one of those.
I mean, my God, man. Yeah, just ask us for one.
So, hey, real quick. So when she called in, she had talked about getting the men's room IPA up in Skagit County, a.k.a. Cedar Woolley. So the men's room is officially at the Liquor and Wine between...
All right.
There you go.
Goodwill.
Nice.
In fact, the first week they went through 4 cases in 5 days, and they ordered another additional 6 cases. And they're saying it's just selling off the charts.
Awesome. That is great news, man.
Yeah, that is great.
I'm glad you survived, mostly to tell us that good news.
I think if I did it once, I would really, really have had to enjoy it to do it again.
Oh, bungee jumping?
I think, yes. I mean, like, you didn't want to run back up into the airplane and jump out again, did you?
I kind of did.
Did you?
But keep in mind, but there's a difference, man, because when I went skydiving, I did it tandem, with a guy that does this professionally. He's part of like the Red Bull stunt team, all this stuff. So it's like, and look, things still went wrong, but as far as trusting who you're with,
yeah, I get it.
Bungee jumping, it's like, man, this is just solo, right? Like, so if something goes wrong, like, that's it.
Yeah, look, I'm not worried about the Vietnam veteran who can fly a helicopter. What I'm worried about is the maintenance on that aircraft.
Yes.
I'm not worried about his piloting skills. I'm worried about the vehicle that we are in.
I'd be like, can I look in your living room real quick? That's why. I'm like, if you have anything from IKEA and I see one loose screw, I'm not getting in that helicopter.
No.
That's all.
I mean, I'm just scared to wake up a Vietnam veteran. My dad was one. He didn't wake up the easiest.
What happened when your feet weren't on the ground? 206-803-ROCK.
It's kind of aggressive.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's why he giggled. That guy's like, free helicopter rides. So we wake up this guy that was a helicopter pilot in Vietnam. I'm like, Jesus.
Did your dad ever do like revelry at like 5 o'clock in the morning to wake you guys up?
No. He would take a stick and bang it around a metal trash can.
Jeez.
Like the movie.
Yeah. I mean, it worked.
Not often. I mean, it worked.
My grandfather, Marine. He just opened the door and slammed it. Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, my dad had a little military time. His thing is just so firm. Like, you think it's time to get up? And one time I remember I responded. If I did, I'd be up. Don't respond that way to my father. So what I discovered in that moment, things went south quickly.
Yeah, I mean, right. It's not like he used that trash can all the time. But there was definitely times, you know how kids are.
Sure.
I was like, I'll just lay back down. I'll lay back down. And it's just like, all right, there's that trash can. And generally that was more of like, we got to get up super early because you're taking a trip somewhere.
You're going somewhere.
Right. You got to leave the house before dawn.
Well, it's amazing, man. If we're going to take the kids on a trip, because my wife will always book a red eye, or if not a red eye, then we'll take off at like 5 a.m., 5:30. The kids have to get up at 3 a.m. They'll pop up, right? They're still tired, but they get out of bed. They don't complain. They get in the car. They fall asleep. School, you sleep until 7:30. You know it's coming. I mean, you would think, like, were you partying all night? Like, I can't get up. Oh, 5 more minutes. I'm so tired. Like, bro. You do this every day. How do you not know that you have to go to school?
I struggle to get up Monday through Friday to come in here. I don't get here till 10.
Right.
Like, this is not a big deal.
Yeah.
On the weekend, I'll just pop up at 6. Like, I can sleep in. But I don't, for whatever reason. I just wake up and go, All right, I guess I'm up. Here we go. But on the weekday, I'm like, I need to go back to bed. No, you don't.
You're fine. Get
the same thing. What happened when your feet weren't on the ground? 206-803-ROCK.
I mean, you're right. And somehow the beds only feel that comfortable when it's
on the
like,
weekday when you have to.
When you have to get it's like, this is the most comfortable bed of all
it's
time.
raining and there's a cool breeze coming through my window.
Right. The weekend, like 6 o'clock, let's get up and do breakfast.
That's right. Let's go eat.
I know.
Hello, Bryce. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello. What's going on?
Hola.
Hola.
So what happened when your feet weren't on the ground?
So, y'all ever been to that cliff jumping spot in Black Diamond, the Greenwater Gorge?
No, sir.
No? Okay. It's like rinky-dink, just like cliffs, right? Pay some dude who owns it $5. Anyways, I'm there with a bunch of military dudes, right? And they have this huge cliff. They have a name for it. It's called Kong. It's like 70 feet or something. So I'm there with like some Marines and some Army guys. I'm like, all right, I know how this works, right? You got to prove yourself, bunch of macho dudes. So I'm like, all right, I'll go first. Everybody's looking around, right? Sprint, jump off, right? Huge, right? Like you can read a book on the way down. Like I land like the tiniest bit back seat. And the water is like forced entry, like right inside of me. Yeah, dude, like couldn't move my legs or anything when I'm down there, just like full enema, like just like doggy paddling with just my hands trying to get back to shore.
Did you poop yourself?
I didn't know. It got shoved back up there, man.
Yeah. Same thing with people who have a hard time pulling up water skiing.
Oh, right.
I've seen that movie with some people who are learning, and you let go.
Just let go of the rope.
Let go, man. You're going to rip something.
God, man, I've heard those stories, never experienced that myself. Don't want to.
What happened when your feet weren't on the ground? 206-803-ROCK.
Your finger.
Hello, Kyle. Welcome to the men's room. We'll get back to Kyle. He's busy.
There's a lot of chatting going on.
Hello, Dave. Welcome to the men's room.
Yes.
Hola.
Yes.
Hola.
Hola.
Okay. Two quick stories. The first one revolves around a flight I took on a Piper Cub around Oahu one sunny day. And the only thing I'll say about that is you don't want to have breakfast before you go up.
Is that a plane or a helicopter?
It's a plane, I believe, isn't it?
No, it's a plane. It's a Piper Cub. And
oh, my bad, dude.
Come on,
I didn't know my tiny. Did you miss the whole hour we spent saying we've never been in tiny little planes?
No, but at any rate, no. The only thing I'll say there is, so that wasn't so bad. There was a little bit of turbulence, but the one worst flight I've ever had in my life was riding in a DC-3 out of Boston for a flight over to Hyannisport in Cape Cod in 1962.
So how small are those? About how many passengers fit on a DC-3?
I don't know, maybe like 40 or 50.
Okay.
Let's say 40. You know, in the World War II films, they always show the paratroopers in the DC-3, and so you've got probably...
Okay.
Anyway, but this is an airliner. It's got, seats and so on. But, oh, my God. When we got to where Cape Cod attaches to the mainland, that's when the turbulence really kicked in, and it was terrible. I tossed my cookies. It was only a 30-minute flight, but I swear to God, I will never ride DC-3 again.
Did you throw up in the bag they provided?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm glad someone finally used those.
Now, let me ask you this.
My last flight, they didn't have them.
What?
Oh, really? I don't know if that's standard anymore. I mean, it should be.
A puke bag?
It wasn't in my front seat.
That probably tells me the person sat there before you.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like, the life raft underneath your seat there, or whatever. Like,
always check.
There's all these things. I've just never used any of them. I know they're there.
Hey, Dave, as far as, what the hell was I getting ready to ask you? Oh, were you the only one that puked?
I don't know, man, because I was so busy just trying to manage the situation. I was a kid. And all I can say also is that because of that ride, I've got the greatest respect for what the paratroopers in World War II must have gone through flying over the English Channel, for instance.
And being shot at. But yes, also, yes, there's the turbulence.
Deepest respect.
Yeah, but also, jumping out of the plane with a parachute in enemy territory. But more than that, fellas, we just want to say,
turbulence.
How about that turbulence, man?
What happened when your feet were not on the ground? 206-803.
That's how you earn your respect. Very turbulent flights.
It does get windy. I was just there.
Right.
I think it's windy as hell on the Cape.
And the Atlantic Ocean, man, the wind on the Atlantic is a lot different than it is here, for sure.
Right. Plus, you got to keep in mind, when you're going over to the Cape, right, you got, the giant bay right there, which is...
Did you fly over or boat over?
No. I was shocked. I almost asked him, why didn't you just drive over?
Yeah.
Because it's about 9, without traffic, because we took a bus back. That took 2 hours, but without traffic,
right,
it's from Boston to the Cape is probably 90 minutes.
Okay.
It's not that far. But yeah, I guess you fly over there. But there's a giant, what do they build? Like a canal. Mm-hmm. Then there's the bay. Then there's the natural cut as well. So and then you're just on a giant peninsula. So it is just windy.
Yeah, I believe
might as well just be in the middle of the Atlantic.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, my kids are even bitching. Now, look, they're the ones that want to go back east, see their cousins in Delaware in August. It's hot as hell. But they keep bitching about the beach and the water there. I'm like, look, first of all, you're the guys that want to go to the point that I'm going with you. And I'm not dying to go, but they want me to go. Fine. I'll go. But then when they get to the beach, they're like, the waves are too big. They hit you too hard. And I'm like, look, it's the Atlantic Ocean in the Northeast. It just hits a lot harder. It's just the way that ocean is, man. But they couldn't stand it. And I realized, here's the difference, because you're still little kids. So
Correct.
as an adult, you'll take these waves, and it's the fun of basically getting punched in the face and the chest. Yeah. And maybe it knocks you down to get up. When you're a little kid, I'm like, all right, guys, you know what? I hear what you're saying, right? When they get hit, they think they're going to die.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're
bring it up all the time.
My
My buddy said the same thing to me. We'd go there when we were 12, 13 years old because we had 2 or 3 families that would all go together.
Yeah.
So that was just the way it rolls. So the parents hang out, the kids hang out, blah, blah, blah. So me and my buddy Pat were 18 years old or 17 years. We're at senior week, right?
Good.
So we go back, and we're going to go swimming. We're going to do all the stuff. It's just a weekend of throwing down. And you just find a place to spend the night. If you can pull that off, senior week is guaranteed. We go, we sit on the beach. I dive in, we start swimming. I'm like riding waves, just body wave.
Yeah.
Just body
surfing.
Yeah. And I come back, and Pat's still on he's still on the beach. He's not ready to go in yet. And I was like, man, these waves just seem smaller than we were kids, man. He's like, dude, we're like 4'6", man. He's like, yeah, we're an adult now, man. He's like, yeah, you got bigger.
Right.
The waves didn't get
same.
smaller, dumbass.
And when you get older,
you
you get smarter about it too, right? And unfortunately, your kids don't, we had the advantage of growing up, Miles.
Right there, yeah.
You went to the beach all the time. So you learn, even when you're, the waves don't always break at the same point, but you learn when to dive under.
Yep.
Or run out and get ahead of it or back up. Kids don't know as much. They're just getting clobbered.
That is what my kids do right now, yes.
What happened when your feet were not on the ground? 206-803-ROCK.
They really do, dude. Hello, Danny. Welcome to the men's room.
Danny?
Danny.
Hello.
Danny.
Do drugs, Danny?
Really? Every day.
Bye.
Danny.
And goodbye, Danny. We tried.
Danny.
We tried.
All right, heads up. We have, go ahead.
The wave thing I still love. My niece had to be 3 or 4. Now, listen, I love swimming in the ocean.
Yeah.
We're at the beach. Me and my brother are swimming in the waves. We misjudge one. It's going to break on us. So he naturally turns his back. Yeah. But he's holding his child against his chest.
Just right in the face.
So, one of the things, if it's a big, you just kind of put your back into it and go through it. Yeah, Maddie took it straight to the face. And then he was like, do you think they saw? And I was like, I don't think they saw. Let's just wait till she stops crying. We'll go in.
Spits out the water.
Stop crying, yeah.
Metallica tickets every day in May. Coming up, your chance to win. You'll hear the code word. Text that to 206-803-ROCK. That'll be sometime around about 4:20. And we get your emails coming up next to the men's room at KISW.com.
Start your summer road trip at Midas and get up to $30 off your next repair service. Plus, get a free closer look vehicle check to make sure your road trip ready. So if you need a brake service, an alignment check, or tune-up, hit up Midas for up to $30 off. For more details, request your appointment at Midas.com.
Want a natural way to reduce fine lines and wrinkles? Dermaclear's got you. Our 100% medical-grade silicone face patches are meticulously formulated for visible improvements in as little as 20 minutes and lasting results in 30 days or get your money back, guaranteed. They're safe and reusable and enhance your skin's natural healing process. Embrace the future of skincare and join countless satisfied customers who've transformed their skin with Dermaclara. Visit dermaclara.com today and say goodbye to wrinkles and hello to beautiful, healthy skin.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
This season on Nada Yada Island.
When we were new, they spoiled me. They even gave me a phone. But then, it's like I didn't exist.
Don't take yada yada from your wireless carrier. Now with Metro, get that new customer feeling again and again. Introducing Metro Flex. Free 5G phones when you join, same deals as new customers when you stay. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Just bring your number and ID and sign up for an eligible plan. After 12 months, trade in and get our best deals on select devices.
Celebrate your birthday with Walmart Photos same-day photo cards starting at 39 cents or stationery cards starting at 96 cents. Choose from hundreds of templates to send your invitations in style. Order online at walmart.com/photo, in-store, or on the Walmart app.
Are you a fan of mystery and adventure? Introducing June's Journey, the captivating free-to-play mobile game that will ignite your inner detective. Play as June Parker in a thrilling murder mystery adventure as you search for hidden objects to uncover the truth behind her sister's death. Step into the glamorous world of the Roaring '20s with stunningly illustrated scenes and over 1,000 mysteries to unravel. With new chapters added weekly, you'll never run out of clues to chase and suspects to interrogate. Plus, you can build your own island escape with beautiful gardens and buildings and even join a detective club to collaborate with other players. Experience the thrill of being a detective and unravel the mystery in June's Journey. Download June's Journey now on your Android or iOS device or play on PC through Facebook Games.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
I've been on the hunt for the perfect planner for years, but could never find anything that worked for my life. Then I found Zinnia, an app that's totally customizable. It makes planning so easy. Zinnia helps me record special moments, track goals, schedule self-care, and document my life. Zinnia has so many cute journal templates, habit trackers, to-do lists, and more. I use my phone on the go, then switch to my iPad to edit, add photos, and draw, and voila! Everything looks great. Am I obsessed? Maybe. Shh. Download Zinnia on the App Store today.
My neighbor Ned brags a lot about his smart home. So I showed him my ecobee smart home. Turns out ecobee's a lot smarter. So tell the Ned on your block about ecobee. Just yell, "Get yourself a smarter home." Visit ecobee.com today.
What's up? It's your boy, The Ted Smith from the Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Mike, what was the code word there? I missed it. I was in the bathroom. Was it enter? No? Master?
Hang on, I gotta check. I forget.
All right, we'll give it to you in a second here. We just got to catch up on it. We know that they already said it. I just did not hear it.
Believe it's enter.
So hopefully, if you did, text that to 206-803-ROCK. Okay, do I have time for a few emails to the men's room at KISW.com.
You've got mail.
Couple from our question today. Old boy, something that'll stick with me for a long time. When I was snow tubing with some friends when I was little during a New Year's Eve celebration at a friend's place. My brother and I went in a tube, and then our other friend was in her own tube. It was icy that night. The driveway we were tubing down was plowed. Some strange momentum bounced us into each other, and suddenly the tube that I was in was sliding up the side of the plowed road, and I was in the air. I landed on some hard chunks of snow and ice that had broken off and got the wind knocked out of me real good, but I survived. I just don't go tubing too much anymore. Have a good one, gentlemen. That from Chloe. Guys, I was a teenager. I was on a horseback riding tour in eastern Oregon. At one point, we're on a trail with about a 10-foot drop to the river on one side and a tall hedge on the other. Then a rattlesnake in the hedge started rattling its tail, and the horse freaked out. That was the first and last time that I will ever ride a horse. That from Big Pun in Kennewick. I've been horse riding probably 4 or 5 times in my life and still have not ever felt comfortable.
Really?
The horse... I've done it in Jamaica. I've done it in West Virginia.
Come on, climb on my back.
Which was cool because the horses were old and feeble. So they weren't going nearly as fast as the one on my buddy's farm.
Which are oldest, closest to death horse?
They look terrible. Surely they won't run away at a high rate of speed. But my buddy, man, he had a couple horses.
I think everything about horses looks awesome. So you get up next to him, just like, Jesus.
That is a big, muscular thing.
Also, man, it took me a long time just to figure out how to get on one.
Really?
Oh, yes.
I thought that was the easiest part.
Not for me.
No.
Not for me.
Really?
Not for me. No.
Guess I channel my inner cowboy.
Yeah, I guess so. You got big, long legs.
I was going to say, maybe it helped.
You know what? That might be the difference.
Mike, did you think it was easy getting on a horse?
You're damn right. You put one foot in the stirrup there.
I
and
know
then
that.
over, bam. Throw the leg, damn it.
I still had a hard time.
Get your ass up there.
No, my buddy used to push my ass, man. I'm not kidding you.
Yeah, I had a babysitter for a while, and she worked on a farm where she took care of horses too. And there was a little stand, and we would stand on that. And she'd bring the horse over, then you get on.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever rode one as an adult.
You don't see that in Yellowstone. You know what I mean?
No. Grab the horn, and then you need to do some squats, man.
Okay.
You know, they made those actors go through months of training to ride horses.
They probably asked for it. I'll do. Can I get some training on this if I'm riding this big bitch?
Because it hurts, too, if you're out there all the time.
Oh, programming update. The code word was enter.
Oh, congratulations.
Text that now to 206-803.
Oh, it was enter.
So it is enter, yes. Okay. Ola Pacholas on the birthdays. Thank you for the years of entertainment. I would like to wish my beautiful fiancée and best friend, Clarissa, a very happy 35th birthday. How about some advice from Coach Ted on this milestone birthday and the Dirty Germans talking about spending time in Mother Nature and maybe a fish sandwich medley. Rock on, guys. That from Dustin.
Can I get
a fillet of fish sandwich?
So you know I got
I'll have a fish sandwich.
Oh, brother, can I have a fish sandwich? Put the cheese and the tartar on the side.
I want a fish sandwich.
Is it too early for a fish sandwich? Cheese and tartar on the side. Yeah, I smell the fish sandwich. Maybe some dinner relish in the morning. At noon. And at night.
Can I buy you a fish sandwich?
So you don't want a fish sandwich?
First of all, happy birthday. Glad to hear your fiance and a best friend. But he's lying. We all know his best friend is the guy down the street. The one he's always hanging out in his garage. You know who I'm talking about. Paul, all right? That's his best friend. But anyhow, 35 is a big birthday. Why? I don't know. It's kind of the middle of your 30s. The main thing is you get to say you're still in your middle 30s. Because trust me, you'll be in your 40s before you know it.
Yeah, you want advice on the best way to spend time in Mother Nature. Yeah, in Deutschland, we simply call it a vagina. But if you want to call it to Mother Nature, okay.
Yeah, you know, everybody has sex naked. It's all natural. Did you ever have sex outside on a wood stump? Did you ever had sex outside? Like a tree that's been cut in half?
I have not.
No. Oh, that's living, boys.
Damn.
Grab that stump, girl.
Guys, I am emailing you myself, since sometimes that's what a guy's got to do. Or a girl. It's a girl. Today is my 43rd birthday, and I would love Coach Ted encouraging me in my new hobby of beekeeping. Some dad jokes for Miles, and the Dirty Germans talking about me cooking up some sausage and clams for you guys. That sounds great. I'll love listening to you guys and have a crush on all four for different reasons. Lots of love. That from Kelly.
Thought that was going to be from Doug.
Yeah, it's funny you bring up sausage and clams. I'll tell you what, you provide the clam, I will bring the sausage.
Yeah, so might be a couple of some. And also, recently I've involved clam and stuffing.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuffed quahog.
Are you talking about food?
So maybe. Everything in German's a double entendre.
Yeah.
All right, beekeeping. I don't know. I'll tell you this one. If you're going to get into beekeeping, don't be one of those people that quits, all right? Beekeeping's become a pretty big fad, all right? Now, the chicken people, I give chicken people credit. They get chickens, they get them. I know a few women in their mid-30s, they're like, I'm a beekeeper. You know what they're not doing now? Making any honey. There's not one goddamn bee on their property. So you got to stick with it. It's not all fun and games, and don't forget to smoke them out.
All right, dad jokes going. All right, guys, the doctor gave me 1 year to live. So I shot him. Then the judge gave me 15, winning. What did the mugger say to the politician?
What did the mugger say to the politician?
Give me back my money?
Give me back my money. And one more. Dennis told me, this is going to hurt a little. I said, okay. Dennis says, I'm having sex with your wife.
Give me more gas.
Oh, my God.
Pacholas, hope all is well. I'm putting in my own birthday request today for my 39th because, well, I don't know if anyone will. That said, how about a bong rip, a what the F is that, and some coach advice from Ted on how to spend the remainder of my 39th trip around the sun. Thanks, guys. That from Alex.
Oh, my God. What the is that, bro?
All right, 39. 39 actually is kind of a fun year. You still get to make fun of your friends in the 40s, and you're 39, you got a few of them. Now, you got to get stuff done, all right? First of all, start planning for next year. You're turning 40. You need to throw a bash, like a huge party. Maybe take a trip. Other than that, this is the last time you could use the excuse the last year when you do something really stupid, be like, well, it's not like I'm 40. Don't tell them you're 39. Just act younger.
There you go.
Hey, guys, it's my 45th trip around the sun. I made it my only goal for the day to send this in on time. So how about a what the F is that, bro, on Leroy Jenkins as well. Always enjoy listening to the show on my way home from work. Keep up the great work. You make the commute way better. That from Mikey Ha-Ha.
Oh, my God. What the is that, bro?
Is he related to Jimmy?
The only other ha-ha I know.
All right, guys, here you go.
Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, to you, to you.
Ya's a Dirty Germans brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
Now, the men's room wants to know who sucks last?
Yay! Time for Who Sucks Last. Steve with Thrill Hill, you bring us 3 stories from the news each and every week. They all suck. It is up to us to determine, out of the 3 stories, which one sucks the least. Now, if you happen to follow KISW on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, the debate is already underway on Who Sucks Less.
Yes, indeed. And as I pointed out at the top of the show, all 3 of these stories, kids are at the root of it. All right? Children are at the root of it. Let us start in Florida, where a man was arrested after police in Satellite Beach say that 3 children were abandoned for hours on an island. Now, one of the children's fathers, Leonard Nile, he was supposed to be watching the kids on a Memorial Day camping trip, but the father was arrested and charged with 3 counts of child neglect. According to the police report, the 3 kids that were left without care were 9, 10, and 11 years old. Not only were they left, but they were stranded on an island surrounded by water before a good Samaritan heard them screaming for help from the dock late on Saturday night. I like how they point out that the island was surrounded by water. We're like, yes, that is an island. Anyway, Robin, who's one of the children's mothers, said, quote, I cried so much Sunday that I can't cry anymore. Now I just want answers. Now, Robin wants justice after her 9-year-old daughter and the 2 other kids were left alone for 4 hours on Sampson Island. Robin says her daughter was staying with her best friend. It was supposed to be watched by her father. And he's looked after the daughter before, so she wasn't worried, but that changed Saturday night. According to the police report, Satellite police officers, they responded after a man was arrested, that would be Leonard Nile, because he called 911 saying he lost contact with the children. Other responding officers say that Nile, he was emotional, showing mood swings, even crying, and yelling in reference to the missing children. Also, he was piss drunk. He ended up admitting that he smoked weed, consumed cocaine, and drank beer before meeting with the officers, but certainly not with the children. They were like, doesn't matter. Anyway, all 3 children were safe because someone nearby heard them yelling and brought them to land. Police arrested this guy Saturday night and set his bail at, any guesses?
2 G's.
$7,500. Oh. Abandoning 3 children on an island. All right. Now, this story's crazy. We go to China, where a woman was sentenced to prison for kidnapping an 11-year-old girl who she planned to raise into the perfect wife for her 27-year-old son. Now, the woman, named Yang, she met the underage girl back in February of last year while visiting a village there. Convinced that she would make a great bride for her much older son. Again, the girl's 11, her son's 27, and this woman goes, this is marriage material right there, yeah. But to her credit, she asked the girl's parents if they would allow her to come back to her native city. The girl's father refused the proposal, but that only made the woman go ahead with her backup plan. She conspired with her son to kidnap the girl the very next day, and they waited until the target was home alone, then they abducted her. Now, the good news is, just 6 days after the kidnapping, the 11-year-old girl, she managed to get someone's attention and got the mother arrested. The son turned himself in 4 days later. Now, they were sentenced to prison. 2 years. 2 years for this woman who kidnapped an 11-year-old girl, 7 months for the son who assisted in this. And even though they appealed the court's decision, and the appeals court did maintain the initial sentence last month, but the case and the sentence issued by the court, that's now caused outrage in China's social media, with most people commenting, saying that the mother and son duo got off way too easy for the crime. Yeah. Which I'm inclined to agree. Now, although some have commented that the age difference between the abducted girl and her suitor is worth pointing out, that in China, there's an ancient tradition of child brides where preteen girls are adopted by families to be raised as future brides for their sons. And the practice was banned back in 1950, but reportedly it continues in rural areas. All right? Yep. Yeah. And here we go, another crazy one for you. Also in China, a nanny. She's been forced to take care of a toddler for months without any compensation after the child's parents disappeared without a trace, with money that they borrowed from the nanny. So Ms. Yu, that's the victim, she claims that she was hired by the couple to take care of the newborn son for a monthly salary of about $1,000 a month. Now, shortly after striking the deal, the parents told the nanny they needed to travel to receive a sizable inheritance, including property and luxury goods. So they asked if she could help them out with a loan for the lawyers and the paperwork and all that. But as insurance that they would pay her back, the couple showed her photos of all the goods they'd allegedly inherited, as well as ownership papers for a hotel. So you're like, okay. Furthermore, they decided to leave their child with the nanny while they sorted everything out. And that way, Ms. Yu, she assumed, look, there's no reason to worry, but she was wrong. According to the nanny, she hasn't received her pay since November of last year, and despite taking care of the child after his parents disappeared, to make matters worse, she also lent them significant sums of money, including her life savings, and she borrowed also money from her brother to give to this couple, adds up to about $15,000 here in the States. So this couple took her money, disappeared, left her with the kid. Now, the woman showed journalists pictures of all the expensive watches, cars, and other luxury items included in the inheritance that the parents say that they were going to receive. But she admits that in hindsight, they could have faked everything to defraud her of her modest savings, adding that after inspecting the ownership papers of the hotel there, she found traces of digital editing. Plus the story that the inheritance came from a man that the child's mother had dated over a decade before never really sounded genuine, but she let herself be fooled anyway. Anyway, she tried contacting the parents by phone and through WeChat, but they seemed to have vanished. She also contacted the hotel they allegedly owned, but the owners there had never heard of them. So her fears of being the victim of an elaborate fraud are higher than ever. The only thing that doesn't make sense is the child. So the police get involved, and the police are saying, look, we don't know because we can't do DNA testing. We don't even know if that was their kid. So they think they may have kidnapped the kid to hire a nanny to set this whole thing up. So those are your stories, all right? So we have the drunk and high father in Florida that left 3 kids stranded on an island there for hours. We have the woman in China who kidnapped an 11-year-old girl to raise as a wife for her 27-year-old son, which, whatever you think about, apparently that is a tradition. Frowned upon, but something that can be done. And finally, the nanny left with a 5-month-old child after the parents disappeared with her money.
So the one in China, or the one where she kidnapped the girl to be her son's future bride.
Correct.
So how old was the son?
27.
Right, so he's already 27. Okay, my bad.
He's already 27. She's 11, but the mom's like, oh, this girl, she'll be perfect for you.
And the man in Florida,
he got drunk and high and left the kids on an island, man.
All right.
So I'm assuming he had a boat, took them over there to have fun, said, I'll be right back.
Met up with somebody.
Yeah, you're doing
I don't know.
I'm going to go Florida guy sucks the least. I know he got drunk. I know he got high. I know he left 3 kids on an island. But all things considered, I don't think he meant to. I think he just got drunk. I think he got high. And I think
he's doing coke too, though.
Yes,
he did call 911.
But he was crying. He was upset. Hey, he turned himself in, essentially.
He turned himself in.
He did not mean.
He said, "Hey, I've lost contact with the kids," which is different than, "Hey, I abandoned some kids on an island."
Right. No.
One is a confession.
He did. But everything else was premeditated. Everything else was something that someone meant to do one way or another.
Well, what did he leave the island for?
I don't know.
He was high
and drunk, and he was, having fun with his buddies.
But that doesn't mean it's not premeditated. He thought it out.
I don't think he went out there and left those kids on an island on purpose, or he wouldn't have called the cops on himself.
Yes, he did.
I think he left the kids on the island probably to get some hands on some coke.
Yes.
And all the, like I said, right out of the buddy.
He left on purpose because he thought he wasn't going to be gone that long.
This is Florida.
He just meant to go back.
Right. He said, I was going back for more camping supplies. Right. It's like, yeah, just to get loaded, and you forgot where you were.
Sorry. Like, there's a park Thrill I know very well, and there's kind of a bar across the street from it.
Uh-huh.
If his kids are in the park and he runs over and gets a beer, I'm not going to be like, all right, terrible parent. But if it's 4 hours, they're on an island, and then he scored coke, he's smoking joints. I'm just like, that guy knew what he was doing. He left those kids on that island. I'm going to say the woman who kidnapped the kid, only because that kid already got returned, correct?
Yeah, it was 1 day. I think the whole process was 4 days.
So, like,
the kid was kidnapped.
Oh, come on. That dude's a terrible father. Like, this isn't the first time something like this has happened. No. Of course he's crying. He's blitzed out of his mind. And, like, I think it's by probably crocodile tears. I'm such a great dad. I can't believe this happened. Well, sorry. When you left him on the island and started blowing coke and drinking beers, you knew what was happening.
Did he?
Yeah. Yes. What is your joke about cocaine? Nobody leaves, then he left.
No.
As soon as he put that first line up his nose.
He had to do it all before he went back.
Right, he knew where this was going.
Exactly.
Hey, you want to put on some widespread? Get back on that
island. Widespread. Oh, dude, widespread's coming. Dave's opening. Debate continues on Who Sucks Less if you happen to follow KISW on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Shot of the Day's coming up. You are listening to The Men's Room.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
This season on Nada Yada Island.
When we were new, they spoiled me. They even gave me a phone. But then, it's like I didn't exist.
Don't take yada yada from your wireless carrier. Now with Metro, get that new customer feeling again and again. Introducing Metro Flex. Free 5G phones when you join, same deals as new customers when you stay. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Just bring your number and ID and sign up for an eligible plan. After 12 months, trade in and get our best deals on select devices.
I've been on the hunt for the perfect planner for years, but could never find anything that worked for my life. Then I found Zinnia, an app that's totally customizable. It makes planning so easy. Zinnia helps me record special moments, track goals, schedule self-care, and document my life. Zinnia has so many cute journal templates, habit trackers, to-do lists, and more. I use my phone on the go, then switch to my iPad to edit, add photos, and draw, and voila! Everything looks great. Am I obsessed? Maybe. Shh. Download Zinnia on the App Store today.
Struggling with fine lines and wrinkles? Let me tell you about Dermaclara. Our 100% medical-grade silicone patches have changed the game for so many people. Safe, natural, and incredibly effective, these patches deliver visible improvements in just 30 days. Jessica from New York said her fine lines started to fade after just a week of using Dermaclara, and within a month, her skin was smoother and more radiant than ever. Megan from California couldn't believe how quickly her stretch marks disappeared. It takes as little as 20 minutes per use to start seeing results because Dermaclara's reusable occlusion patches work by enhancing your skin's natural healing process. Your skin gets the best care possible for every stage of your skincare journey with just one ingredient, medical-grade silicone. And we prioritize safety without compromising results at Dermaclara. And we stand by our products with a satisfaction guarantee, so there's no risk in trying Dermaclara. Visit dermaclara.com today and say goodbye to wrinkles and hello to beautiful, radiant skin.
3 reasons why Kate Farms nutrition shakes will help support you on your journey. For starters, this high-calorie shake is designed to help support for weight gain. Each carton contains 455 calories and 20 grams of USDA organic pea protein. Secondly, Kate Farms cares about what they put into their shakes and what they keep out of them. Each shake is carefully crafted with essential vitamins and minerals and designed for easy digestion with no dairy, soy, or gluten. Lastly, Kate Farms makes on-the-go nutrition easy with resealable cartons you can enjoy anywhere. Ready to start thriving? Learn more at www.katefarms.com.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Couple of minutes, let's bring your toast for the shout of the day. And we do have your headlines on the way at 5:50. But first, quick check-in with Mike Hawk and some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
All right. Thank you, Miles. A new study found the best state for millennials is Minnesota.
Why?
I'm not working on it, so I have no frickin' idea. But you know what? For millennials, go to Minnesota.
Go to Minnesota.
Miles isn't wrong. I was just talking to a guy from Minnesota the other day, and I was bitching about getting mosquitoes. And he's like, Jesus. He's like, the winters are so cold. There's so many mosquitoes in the summer. But it's also the land of 1,000 lakes.
There you go.
Thus the mosquitoes.
That's where they're all from. A city in Illinois is opening a seniors-only DMV.
That won't take forever.
No kidding. You know what? They got all the time, though. Let them have it.
A seniors only. Why?
Maybe to
convince them to stop driving?
They should retest them.
Yeah,
like my mom's almost 80. I am dead serious. Like,
agreed.
She still wants to drive. I wish the state of Maryland would make her retake the test.
Just retake. Right. If you pass it, you pass it.
Yeah.
Right. I'm sorry. It's going to make a lot of you mad. However,
that's right. You're old enough to know disappointment.
Right.
Okay, I have a question. So, you're 16, your insurance is through the roof.
Sure.
And then you get to 25 and they drop it down.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you're safe after that, they continue to keep on par with, your driving record. Is there a point where it
goes back up?
You're 80 and now it's back to the pricing where you're 16.
Right.
Because you're almost as dangerous then as you were when you were younger.
The difference is, when you're 16...
That might be the start.
You're trying things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're excited. We get it. You're going to open it up. When you're 80, it's just your reaction time and your lack of ability to understand the difference between the accelerator and the brake, which at no point is
slowing
that
down,
okay.
stopping, getting rear-ended.
But reaction time is massive. That's why you can't drive impaired. It affects your reaction time. So I'm with you. I've been on this for years. It's like, sorry, older people have slower reaction time.
They do.
That's right. I can slap my father around there.
That's right.
Never worked as a kid.
Stick and move, man.
Yeah.
It doesn't see you coming.
Hey, old man.
You gonna keep eat that jab? You gonna move?
13% of people believe they'd run an excellent advice column.
Wow. I mean, look, advice is easy to give out.
Ted's exactly right.
That is a fact,
Yeah.
Ted. You know what? That is an absolute fact.
Anything, I can give you advice.
I'll throw some advice your way.
Sure.
I mean, you've probably heard me say it 1,000 times. Like, people ask, relationships. If you ask me, I'll give you some advice, and I'll go, keep in mind, I'm 43 and have never been married.
Yeah.
So that's my opinion of it.
Sure.
But, I can't help you. I don't really know. Why are you asking me?
And most of the time I see, advice column stuff, it always seems to be relationship.
Yeah.
Maybe 5% of the time I hear something
From
about
somebody
a job.
who's single.
Right, but it's always, my boyfriend, dump him.
Right.
If you're that unhappy, leave.
Right.
That's my advice.
Exactly.
But you know what, though? I agree with that stat. I could run a great one. Now,
I would do great.
The hardest thing to do for me, like most people, is take your own advice.
Oh, yeah, I never do that.
I could dish it out all day.
Absolutely.
Right?
I would never do this, but I'm hearing you. Yeah, you do this.
Jump.
Yeah,
Damn.
I wouldn't.
You can.
Damn, dude.
Hey, Van Halen wrote a whole song about it.
That's true.
Might as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you might as well. Might as well do it.
Going back to relationships, you guys don't have to say anything specifically, but has a lady ever held a job that you thought, man, I wouldn't date you if you held that job?
PR director for the KKK.
Not a bad answer.
I'm not saying I won't sleep with you.
Sure.
I'm saying I won't date you.
We're not going to date you.
I would have a tough time, I think, dating a mortician.
Really?
Okay.
Just knowing that that's what they do.
Yeah, I don't know. It just, I guess we didn't have to be specific. I was very specific. It just seems odd. If you're the greeter at the funeral home, I get it. But, you're doing hair all day on dead bodies. I don't know. Can't you do hair at the shop?
I don't know. The gal on Mike and Molly that was the mortician, she was...
Was she smoking hot?
Oh, yeah.
You know what, Mike? I have a lot of these probably. They would all go out the window depending on what she looks like.
Hairdresser.
I'd be hard-pressed to date a hairdresser again.
Phlebotomist.
Well, bad news.
Bloody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that's vampire crap.
Really? Phlebotomist? That doesn't bother me.
Bad news, boys. The shoe's on the other foot.
The Men's Room Top 10. The Men's Room Top 10.
10 jobs that women confess are automatic deal breakers for dating them. Let's flip the script. When I started dating my ex-wife, she was self-employed, a senior living marketer of sorts. I referred to her as an old human trafficker. But my biggest fear was that I would be her sole provider because, again, self-employed. Should have known the side effects. The moment we got engaged, that love faucet conveniently went dry, like the Sahara, the surface of Mars, an overcooked turkey. But hey, good luck to you.
Yeah. Alrighty. So these are jobs that women confess are automatic deal breakers for dating them. Top of the list, they go influencer.
Is that a job?
Yeah. In this day and age, man. Yeah, it is.
I mean, certainly, I don't know.
When a man reveals that he's an influencer, it can be a deal breaker for some women who cannot face the inevitable 24/7 self-promotion. There may be signs that you're on a date with an influencer when he's spending more time on his cell than talking to you and is asking for freebies at every bar that you attend.
I'm not sure I've ever met one.
An influencer?
Mm-hmm. Not in my circles.
Well, remember like back in the day, you'd meet like people that kept blogs and stuff?
Yeah.
I kind of think about it that way sometimes.
That's
Just
right.
digital,
Just
you can see what they're doing. I don't know, though, man. I think a lot of influencers are attractive.
That's
sure,
my first
that's
thought.
part of it. These ladies are lying.
There's not a lot of real ugly, successful people on stuff like YouTube.
But it's not on physical attraction. It's about overall relationship-wise. Again, they'd probably be more than happy to sleep with these guys.
Right.
Oh. Firefighters, believe it or not, makes the list.
What?
Many women love a man in uniform, and the idea of having a firefighter as a partner is alluring. However, the worry that comes with living with somebody who has to put themselves in danger every day is just too much.
If you're a firefighter, is that not the best news? I want you to think about this, guys. What they're saying is, we want to have sex with you.
Right.
It just won't be long term.
Right.
The most dangerous thing a
average guy is
firefighter
like, cool.
does is to take 6 bottles and try to walk down the steps drunk to get him to his buddies. They'd rather run into a burning building.
I told you, my cousin's married to a firefighter. We were in the firehouse, and I'm like, can I pick up the jaws of life? He's like, yeah, man. I turn into a 12-year-old. Can I get in the truck?
Can I put on the hat?
Right.
Can I slide down the pole?
Right. Can we make the siren go?
Can we just go around the block one time?
Hey, look at me, Mike. I'm in a fireman's jacket. Woo!
I'm sorry, put it out real quick.
Look at this. Look at this. How many pull-ups do you think I can do? None. Professional gamer. If your date reveals it is a professional gamer, you're likely to have warning signs going off in your head as you believe that you would play second fiddle to his gaming. Not inaccurate. I have known people that have dated gamers, and they... Yeah.
But what is it? If you're getting paid,
if you're getting paid to do it, though, that seems like a big job.
The thing is, how many hours? Okay.
Yeah.
It's one thing to be a gamer. It's another thing to be a professional gamer.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm a fantastic offensive coordinator, but no one's willing to pay me because I'm not that excellent at it.
Yeah, this is by no means all gamers, but the people that I know dated, losers.
Okay. All right.
I kind of went out a little bit with a girl that was a gamer. I thought it was awesome.
Absolutely. They're fun people.
Oh, I just went like, sure, I'll sit out here alone and watch sports.
Yeah, but yeah, they
most of the
do
people
it all the
aren't
time.
necessarily gamers, but they make video games. It's like EA Sports is in our building. I got buddies who work for Nintendo.
That's what my brother did.
I'm not sure that they actually go home and play games.
He
Maybe
does.
they do. But
Yeah,
that's
some of
their
them
job.
strike me like, no, man, I just put the games together and then I don't play.
I don't go home and play pretend radio.
Right.
Oh, I do. I did a podcast last night. Brand new episode of the podcast.
Available on the Odyssey app. Life insurance
right,
sales.
come on, Thrill. Hit us.
There you go. That'll sell it.
Jobs that women confess are automatic deal breakers for dating them. Life insurance salesman. Selling life insurance can be a 24/7 job as people aim to sell the benefits of taking life insurance to everyone that they speak to.
Well, they make contacts for a living. That's how insurance works in general, for the most part. Like if I sell if I have my own insurance branch or whatever, I need clients. Like that. You're always looking for someone.
Of course.
Yeah. Chef shows up on the list. A lot of women will get excited when they hear that their date is a chef, but others will worry about the level of chef that they are. When a chef is highly rated, it can mean long hours in the kitchen, which means fewer hours with their other half.
I don't think you have to be highly rated to do long hours in the kitchen.
Listen, at least in my experience, and most people working in restaurants will probably agree with this, the chef works whenever the hell they want. You might see your chef once a month if they decide to come in. The sous chef, that's the guy who's doing all the heavy lifting. The line cooks, you might not want to date them if you're worried about them being away for a long time. The chef, I mean, he's going to do an appearance on, PM Magazine, tell you about whatever crap he's serving up, but The only time you'll find the chef at the restaurant, unless they specifically own it and it's a real small operation to me, is if they're on TV.
I think sometimes, too, that the hardest part about dating somebody in the service industry is just
drugs, booze, and sex.
Well, that too. But I was going to say, like, they're just working a lot of nights and a lot of times weekends. So, like, the most time you're going to get is probably on a Sunday when maybe, like, you're trying to relax and like, she's ready to party.
They're going on industry night.
Yeah, Sunday and Monday, man. That's the hard. Honestly, God, in my years of working in the kitchen, the hardest thing was just the hours. Because if you're good, you're working at night when more people come in. Your weekends are always gone. So no matter what anyone wanted to do, it's like, I can't do that. I can't do this.
I had a buddy that broke up with a girl that was a bartender because he would go to see her and then just get hammered all the time. He's like, I'm not mature enough to just sit there and sit on a stool.
It's
like,
not you, literally.
Right, he was like, I would get blacked out drunk every night.
God. Jobs that women confess are automatic deal breakers for dating them. Lawyers. Being a lawyer is very respectable, can earn a great deal of money and prestige. However, many women will worry about the amount of time and dedication needed when working on big cases, which may be a red flag to a relationship.
Then you're probably better with a lawyer than a paralegal.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the nurse versus the doctor. They make the calls, but in my time in hospitals, all of my time is spent with nurses. And then the dude rolls in and looks at the clipboard and tells me what the nurse literally just told me.
How much time does your dental hygienist spend on you?
Correct.
95%.
Right. Then
the dentist comes
in,
looks in, check out, check. Right,
still smoking?
You're
good job.
Yep.
Right.
See you in 6 months.
Paparazzi. If your man is open about being a member of the paparazzi, you may not make it to your second date. While a lot of paparazzi photographers may be emphatic and principled, there are so many who would do anything to get the latest celebrity shot at the expense of people who are simply trying to go about their day.
How many times do you run across a...
That's exactly what I thought.
I'm with you. I don't know that I ever met somebody that they... I mean, nothing against that job, but I don't know that I've ever met somebody that's like, that's my job.
Right, like we know photographers, but I wouldn't consider them to be paparazzi.
No, they have passes to be in the photography pit.
Correct.
And they have a schedule.
They're not waiting outside of restaurants, outside of limos, waiting for the celebrity to come out and just take a picture that 900 other people are going to take.
We should do a paparazzi flash mob, all right? All right, we'll get like 8 other people, and for no reason at all, just wait for some random person to walk out of a bar restaurant, and I mean just put mics in their face, snap the pictures, everything with a flash.
I think I might hire like 4 people to do that when I'm leaving a restaurant on like a third date. Ooh. Oh, sorry. I didn't tell you how famous I am.
I heard that episode, Ted.
Damn it, they got me again.
We got our buddy Iron Mike and
we got a
Stephanie
table in the
Matt.
back. We got a table in the back, and you still knew I was here. See, I'm telling you, they're tipping me off.
Ted, who's this latest young lady?
It's like, I can't believe they found me at Red Robin again.
Red Robin.
As you're getting into the limo.
Right. Just get into my car that's an 06. Hey. Please. It's a lifestyle, Mike.
Stand back.
Stand back.
And then the last job that women confess are automatic deal breakers for dating them. And again, these are individual accounts. It's not necessarily anybody. Debt collectors.
What?
What kind of collectors?
Debt collectors.
Oh, debt.
Jesus.
Oh, what'd you guys think? Okay. Debt.
Listen to it back when you're editing.
My bad.
I mean, aren't they all?
Debt collectors.
I swear, man. I was like, what kind of job is that?
Like a repo man, or people just send you paperwork to like you owe a...
Basically, if you owe somebody money and you're not paying it, they're going to send somebody out there like, give me the money. That's pretty, collection agencies and whatnot.
So that's a turnoff. Hey, what do you do? I collect that.
Pretty much.
They're worried because they have it.
I know. I was going to say, I understand.
Or like they're dating like muscle guys from the mob.
Right. And that's kind of what they say. It's inevitably a very tough job when it means being strict with people who are struggling to make ends meet. This means that being a debt collector means being tough, and a woman may worry about the lack of empathy that a man may have to do his job well.
They're doing their job. What you have to do at work is a little different than how you are at home.
Right.
Any job. My father had a very quiet job, had to focus in on all that. Man, dude got home, threw on music, put his feet up on the coffee table, and drank a beer.
Exactly.
He didn't come home and be stoic about everything.
My God.
Right. Like, that's a job. That's what you got to do.
A man in Chicago serving a lengthy prison sentence for murder was recently freed due to something interesting about their star witness, Miles.
What was so interesting about them?
I'll tell you all about it at 5:50.
Thank you, sir. Headlines are coming up at 5:50. In the meantime, let's get a contestant on the line for Profile This at 206-803-ROCK. All right, we made it to drinking time.
Are you a fan of mystery and adventure? Introducing June's Journey, the captivating free-to-play mobile game that will ignite your inner detective. Play as June Parker in a thrilling murder mystery adventure as you search for hidden objects to uncover the truth behind her sister's death. Step into the glamorous world of the Roaring '20s with stunningly illustrated scenes and over 1,000 mysteries to unravel. With new chapters added weekly, you'll never run out of clues to chase and suspects to interrogate. Plus, you can build your own island escape with beautiful gardens and buildings and even join a detective club to collaborate with other players. Experience the thrill of being a detective and unravel the mystery in June's Journey. Download June's Journey now on your Android or iOS device or play on PC through Facebook Games.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
This season on Nada Yada Island.
When we were new, they spoiled me. They even gave me a phone. But then, it's like I didn't exist.
Don't take yada yada from your wireless carrier. Now with Metro, get that new customer feeling again and again. Introducing Metro Flex. Free 5G phones when you join, same deals as new customers when you stay. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Just bring your number and ID and sign up for an eligible plan. After 12 months, trade in and get our best deals on select devices.
Meet the Bed by Thuma, the perfect platform bed frame. Thoughtfully handcrafted from upcycled wood, the bed is strong, backed by a lifetime warranty, and ships directly to your door. Assembly takes 5 minutes, no tools needed. To get $25 towards the bed, go to Thuma.co. That's THUMA.co to receive $25 off your purchase of the bed. Shop the bed at Thuma.co.
Are you a fan of mystery and adventure? Introducing June's Journey, the captivating free-to-play mobile game that will ignite your inner detective. Play as June Parker in a thrilling murder mystery adventure as you search for hidden objects to uncover the truth behind her sister's death. Step into the glamorous world of the Roaring '20s with stunningly illustrated scenes and over 1,000 mysteries to unravel. With new chapters added weekly, you'll never run out of clues to chase and suspects to interrogate. Plus, you can build your own island escape with beautiful gardens and buildings and even join a detective club to collaborate with other players. Experience the thrill of being a detective and unravel the mystery in June's Journey. Download June's Journey now on your Android or iOS device or play on PC through Facebook Games.
I've been on the hunt for the perfect planner for years, but could never find anything that worked for my life. Then I found Zinnia, an app that's totally customizable and makes planning so easy. Zinnia helps me record special moments, track goals, schedule self-care, and document my life. Zinnia has so many cute journal templates, habit trackers, to-do lists, and more. I use my phone on the go, then switch to my iPad to edit, add photos, and draw, and voila! Everything looks great. Am I obsessed? Maybe. Shh. Download Zinnia on the App Store today.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
This season on Nada Yada Island.
When we were new, they spoiled me. They even gave me a phone. But then, it's like I didn't exist.
Don't take yada yada from your wireless carrier. Now with Metro, get that new customer feeling again and again. Introducing Metro Flex. Free 5G phones when you join, same deals as new customers when you stay. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Just bring your number and ID and sign up for an eligible plan. After 12 months, trade in and get our best deals on select devices.
My neighbor Ned brags a lot about his smart home. So I showed him my ecobee smart home. Turns out ecobee's a lot smarter. So tell the Ned on your block about ecobee. Just yell, "Get yourself a smarter home." Visit ecobee.com today.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith from the Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the Men's Room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. you're the toast of our shot of the day.
Big time it is. As usual, we head to the drink desk and Stephen Throwhill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. And I want to give a quick shout out to listener Trung Lee for sending this one my way. Today we toast Mr. Corey Harris of Ann Arbor, Michigan. Now, Corey was a defendant in a case involving him driving on a suspended license. All right. Now, he was out on bail, but he had a court appearance scheduled. He could not make it in person, so the judge did allow him to attend via Zoom, and he did, and he showed up right on time. So far, so good. It's a simple matter. But the judge noticed that Harris was wearing a seatbelt and that the vehicle he was in was clearly in motion. So the judge, he was a little bit astonished, and then asked Harris, hey, man, are you actually driving right now? Now, this guy Harris, not the brightest bulb on the chandelier of life, he responded, quote, actually, I'm pulling into my doctor's office. Just give me 1 second. I'm parking right now. So eventually, the judge just threw his pen on the table, put one hand on his face, and asked Harris, hey, man, are you stationary yet? Have you parked? Credit to this guy. Corey says, not quite yet. Just give me 1 second. I got to finish parking the car. So upon parking, Harris's legal team then immediately requested an adjournment for the case for 4 weeks. But the judge, he wasn't having it. It's a quote from the judge. Okay, so maybe I don't understand something. This is a driving while license suspended case. And he was just driving, and he does not have a license. Well, at this point, the defense had to say, well, it certainly appears that way, Your Honor, as we're all watching the same Zoom call. Believe it or not, Harris's bond was revoked, and he was ordered to turn himself into the county jail by 6 p.m. that evening. We watched the video. Mike, did you post that?
No, not yet.
Okay, if you get a chance to watch the video, because it's just 3 Zoom squares, right? There's the legal counsel, there's the judge, and there's this dude driving his car. And as stupid as this might sound to you, when you see the face and the expression of the guy who's on trial, you realize he has no idea. He does not get why the judge is mad. But even the judge is like, for a suspended license, yes, sir, that's what it's about. But you're driving and on a Zoom call at the same time. That is correct. Judge is like, Jesus Christ, man. So, yeah, bond revoked. Poor dumbass. So we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies.
Down the hola bichona. The Men's Room presents Profile This.
And Stephen Throwhill, could you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story. Something that happened right here on planet Earth. Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. If you heard a wet trumpet, that was Miles blowing his nose. Hello, Matt. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola. All right, Matt, you understand how this here game is played?
I sure do.
Fantastic. You have your choice of 1 of 3 stories. We have Bite Me. In other words, what did somebody find in their food? Ooh. Animalize This, where you guess the animal responsible for causing the problem. And finally, Hit Me with Your Best Shot, where you guess the unconventional weapon that someone chose to use as a weapon.
Let's go with the animal.
All right, we go to a beach in Mexico where an animal was sniffing around a woman's beach bag. Now, most people gave the animal clearance, but she decided she wanted to get her bag away from the animal. Now, despite others on the beach warning her to get away, she persists in trying to get the beach bag away from the animal until the animal finally loses its temper and attacks her. So the woman had plenty of opportunity to scoot before the attack, and you can hear someone yelling and pleading with her, saying, quote, lady, you're playing with fire right now. Please don't do that. But this dumbass lady, she didn't budge. Instead, it appeared that she tried to feed the animal something while trying to gather her things. And it's when she tried to move its head out of the way, that's when the animal snapped and took her down to the sand. Now, onlookers, they tried to distract the critter, but no one physically intervened because, well, they didn't want to get effed up. I mean, it's just that simple. Now, miraculously, the woman didn't appear to be seriously hurt. She actually got back to her feet after a different woman charged forward, throwing water on the animal, which finally sent it packing. The question is, what is the animal that attacked the idiot woman on the beach? Was it a crocodile? Was it a wild pig? Was it a bull? Or was it a dog? So crocodile, wild pig, a bull, or a dog?
And you said this was in Florida?
A beach in Mexico.
Oh, Mexico. Okay. Let's see. They have a lot of...
I believe it was the
Baja. They have a lot of stray dogs in Mexico.
Yes, they do.
There's a lot of... Yeah.
Miles, Ted, what are y'all thinking?
Well, the locals didn't want to get near it. So I'll just guess wild pig based on that. I don't think that she sat there with a crocodile beside the bag. That's just, maybe she did. Maybe that's the crazy part of the story. I'm going to go wild pig.
Okay.
I think it's El Toro.
Bull?
The bull. Yeah, she messed with the horns, or messed with the bull, got the horns.
That would have messed her up pretty bad, too.
Is she still alive?
Yeah, I mean, after the animal rolled out, she managed to get back to her. I watched the video, and I'm just like, how stupid is this one? She got back to her feet, looked a little dazed, but yeah, she survived.
Miles and Ted, I respect your opinion,
but
I'm gonna go with the dog.
Okay, dog. All right, we're gonna find out what this woman tried to get away from her belongings on the beach. There was it a crocodile, a wild pig, a bull, or a dog? We'll find out next.
That was a tease. Are you a fan of mystery and adventure? Introducing June's Journey, the captivating free-to-play mobile game that will ignite your inner detective. Play as June Parker in a thrilling murder mystery adventure as you search for hidden objects to uncover the truth behind her sister's death. Step into the glamorous world of the Roaring 20s with stunningly illustrated scenes and over 1,000 mysteries to unravel. With new chapters added weekly, you'll never run out of clues to chase and suspects to interrogate. Plus, you can build your own island escape with beautiful gardens and buildings and even join a detective club to collaborate with other players. Experience the thrill of being a detective and unravel the mystery in June's Journey. Download June's Journey now on your Android or iOS device or play on PC through Facebook Games.
What are you doing?
My weekly planner.
On your iPad?
On the Zinnia app. It has all different templates and creative tools. It's so much fun. I can import photos and add stickers.
You haven't heard of Zinnia? It helps me keep track of my kids' sports and dance classes right from my iPhone. Zinnia even helps me save important moments, like when my daughter scored the winning goal last week, I was able to upload a picture and the final score.
Wow, okay, it seems like everyone but me uses Zinnia. How do I spell it? Zinnia? All right, I'm downloading it now.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
This season on Nada Yada Island.
When we were new, they spoiled me. They even gave me a phone. But then, it's like I didn't exist.
Don't take yada yada from your wireless carrier. Now with Metro, get that new customer feeling again and again. Introducing Metro Flex. Free 5G phones when you join, same deals as new customers when you stay. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Just bring your number and ID and sign up for an eligible plan. After 12 months, trade in and get our best deals on select devices.
Why Kate Farms nutrition shakes will help support you on your journey. For starters, this high-calorie shake provides nutritional support for weight gain. Each shake is carefully crafted with essential vitamins and minerals with no dairy, soy, or gluten. Get 25% off your first purchase with code AUDIO. Exclusions may apply. See katefarms.com for details.
99.9 KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Categories analyzed this on Profile This Weekend on Beach in Mexico. A beach in Mexico.
You say
Animal,
a bitch?
I'm just trying to do the mic. An animal was sniffing around a woman's beach bag. She was actually sitting on the beach, right beside her bag. The animal comes up, but she starts kind of like moving around and grabbing crap, and the animal just continues to sniff around.
It wants the bag. She wants her bag.
And then she pushed the animal's head away, and she got thrown around quite a bit. Question is, was the animal a crocodile, a wild pig, a bull, or a dog?
And Matt, that is the very question that we posed to you. Let us start with Miles Montgomery. Went the old wild pig.
Not a pig.
Not a wild pig. Matt, you went with the dog.
Oh, no.
No, I'm afraid it was not a dog. And Ted, you went with the bull.
Toro.
You are correct.
Yeah.
Have you seen this video? Like, look. The beach, the bull shows up on the beach. There's a bunch of people there. For whatever reason, targets her bag. And it's just kind of got its head in it. But it's still a bull, and the other people around her, they give it a wide berth. Because, again, it's a bull. Well, she makes the decision that this bag is very important to her. So she keeps trying to target, but the bull's head is still kind of in it. And finally, she puts her hand on his head to push his head away. And that is pretty much all she wrote. The bull was like, did you just put your hand on me? Bitch, I will knock you down.
Is there just wild bulls on the beaches in Baja?
I didn't know that until I just watched the video.
Yeah, I saw the video. I'm like, yep, that is a bull. But they said, well, she's a tourist. My argument is, what country are bulls safe to approach? What is a country you would visit and go like, oh, cool, it's a bull. All right, but I'm in Argentina, so no problem. Come on, dumbass.
Now for all TV news all the time, it's time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
All right. Got some news on on the highest rated TV series of the season.
All right.
Now, Mike and I talked about this a little bit previously in the show. Throw us in here. Miles, you will know the answer, I think, to this. What do you think is the top-rated series on all of TV? Put it to you this way. All four of us in here watch this quote-unquote TV series.
Technically, it is a series.
I know they go back and forth. So I'll say it's either Sunday Night Football or Monday Night Football or Saturday Night Live.
All right, so you were right on the first two. First, the number one spot, Sunday Night Football.
Okay. That was because ESPN took that, right? Or did ABC take that? ABC took that.
NBC
took
has Sunday Night Football. So Sunday Night Football, everybody gets. Or Monday Night Football is number 2. That's on ABC and generally ESPN.
Yep.
And then third was Thursday Night Football on Prime Video. But you're right. To me, Sunday Night Football is bigger now because it used to be Sunday Night Football was on cable and Monday Night Football was on network.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know. I go back and forth this argument. To me, like, I think Sunday Night Football is the game of the week now.
It pretty much is.
Yeah, like Monday Night Football says a cool feel and it's on national TV, but it's like different because it's on cable. And, you know, there's still a lot of people that don't have cable or anything and can't watch it.
Also, West Coast, you're still work. I mean, if you work a normal job,
right.
By the time you get home, that's already into the second half or second quarter.
Second quarter, yep.
You know what? It is. But after spending a week back on the East Coast, like
waiting for something
I
to
don't
come on.
mind it. I'm just saying it's from a viewer standpoint. You would get more on a Sunday.
Right. And I fathom during the week, you got to start games at 8 p.m. or whatever, so people on the West Coast at least have a chance to get home. But, like, right, I'm in Cape Cod. I'm surrounded by Celtics fans. Saturday night, we're all going to get together, this and that. That game didn't start till 8:30 p.m. And I'm like, well, it's Saturday, though. Like, everybody's at home already. Like, there's a couple of those I feel like you just start earlier. I still, and listen, I live on the West Coast, so it would affect me, but I still think it's crazy starting or college championship games at 9 p.m. on the East Coast. I mean, right? Like, just, we're saying, like, so I was asking,
because for them, it's the other end of work, right? For us, like with Monday Night Football, like we're going to miss the first quarter. That's guaranteed. Whatever, you can live with that.
Right.
When we lived on the East Coast, same Monday Night Football game. Well, if it goes into overtime, right, you started clock watching. Like, dude, I got to get up and however many hours, right?
Yeah.
It really does mess with it. And the nice thing here, man, honestly, I can watch Sunday and Monday Night Football with the kid. He doesn't have to go to bed before it's done.
Well, so that's my cousin Patrick, his oldest, Killian, right? Smart kid and everything, but there's two passions in that kid's life. Football and lacrosse.
All right.
So I asked him, I said, what do you do? And he's like, man, it's tough. If it's Monday Night Football, he's like, I want to let him stay up. But he's like, you know, like, he's 9.
Right.
He can't stay up till past midnight on a Monday night.
Right.
No, I used to do the affiliate for the Pirates. So when they would play the Padres, the Dodgers, whatever the deal was, you know, I go to work at 10. I was still in high school. So I didn't mind the job. Don't get me wrong.
Sure, in high school.
But there was some times on Wednesday, Thursday night, I wouldn't get home till 2 in the morning because they do a post-game show. They do a pre-game broadcast. They do all that crap.
Right. There's obviously things that are better about living in different time zones, right? Like, for instance, I was back there on that Sunday, the last week of the Premier League. Like me, my buddy, my brother, and my niece, like we got up and went to an Irish pub, but it was 11 a.m.
As opposed to your normal, 6 a.m.
Or 8 a.m., right. Or like the Premier Leagues on Saturday, sometimes I'll get up at 4:30. Like those kind of sports would be much easier to watch on the East Coast, but I don't know. As somebody that moved out here 20 years ago, I have a hard time, like sitting around till 8:30. I was like, this sucks.
Even sitting around until 4, man. When the Hogs played the Ravens this last season, it was in Baltimore. Me and some friends of ours, we flew out there to watch the game. And they were getting antsy. I was getting antsy because it was a 4 o'clock game. It's 1 o'clock here.
He would wait until 1.
I mean,
I'm so used to getting up, and even, you know,
pre-game's already on, man.
Right, you're watching pregame. You know what I mean? It's like cooking breakfast. Like, yeah, when I'm back on the East Coast, it's
it drives me nuts. Like, how do we do it? How do I wait this damn long?
Yeah, and if you're not at brunch and there's not football on, You're just the guy in the family drinking beers at 9:30 in the morning.
Right. But we're kind of trained to do that. It's like, hey, man, whatever time football starts, that's about when we crack a beer.
So these were the most watched series of the TV season. Number 10, 60 Minutes.
Still up there.
Still up there. Number 9, Blue Bloods. That's Tom Selleck. It's like cop show.
Yeah. We're also too weird for 60 Minutes because they're actually in somewhat competition with Sunday Night Football.
Yeah. You know what? You're right. I bet in the fall their ratings take a little bit of a dip.
I'm sure. Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. Chicago Fire comes in at number 8.
What I'm learning is that other than football fans, a lot of old people watch network TV.
Yep. FBI is number 7 on the list. Here's one for the young people. Excuse me. Young Sheldon.
Yeah, my kid loved that show.
Number 5 on the list. When I used to go through the ratings every week, fellas, I highlighted it every week.
NCIS.
NCIS.
God, thing's a juggernaut.
It's unreal.
Is it still Mark Harmon? Is that who that is?
He's not there anymore.
Stepped away.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's still like the executive producer, but he does not star on the show.
It's Clark Harmon. We've got Mark Harmon at home. And then Tracker. And then, the top 3 spots, Thursday Night Football, Monday Night Football, Sunday Night Football. And it's just, look, football just dominates.
Absolutely. I cannot believe 60 Minutes is still just kicking asses. I guess, like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, because nothing about the formula will change.
It's 60 Minutes, honestly. Like, I still watch it sometimes. Like, they have good stuff on there.
As an adult, I can watch it. Man, Correct. When I was a kid, as soon as you heard like, you wanted to be out of the room. And if my dad was pissed at me or my brother, he would make us just watch 60 Minutes with him. And it was like the worst punishment. Because as a kid, this is the driest, most boring, my God.
Muammar Gaddafi.
Right.
I always remember, too, hearing that tick-tick was like, all right, now we got to take a bath. Like, school's coming the next day. You know what I mean? Because it's like as an adult, I feel like you fathom time a lot better.
Sure.
As a kid, you really don't. Like, it's Sunday. Who cares? Whatever. But, like, you hear that tick-tick-tick, it's like, we got to go to bed soon. We got to go back to school.
Yeah, the party's over.
Yeah.
The party is over.
The top 5 most watched networks. CBS, number 1. NBC, ABC, then Fox, and Fox News in fifth spot.
Okay.
Yeah, people put on Fox News, don't turn it off.
Yeah, I've noticed, too. I feel like in airports, if there's a news station on, it's almost always Fox News.
Yeah, seems that way.
Yeah. It's always weird, too, man, when you got to, like, kill time and it's super early or late at night. So, like, you can't go sit down in one of the restaurants or bars, and you just have to watch the random TV screen and, like, while you're waiting by the gate.
Can they put on more ESPN, man?
I know. It's always news, but you have no option. At least...
I know there's nothing you can do about it, but it's like, look, man, news right now, as this country has determined we want to be, everything's divisive, right? Yeah. So we're already at an airport. People are a little edgy because you're probably tired, you're going somewhere, whatever. Like, just put on ESPN.
Put on cartoons.
Something.
Anything.
Right. Something that can make anyone... Like, look, how many times have you been to the bar at the airport, ESPN's on, and you don't necessarily have a dog in the fight, but if the guy next to you brings up the game you're watching, you will talk to this person until you're flamed.
Mine was great moments in soccer. All Ronaldo. 3 hours of it. I was like, how much did he do? A lot.
Cristiano.
Yeah.
He's unreal. The problem is he's just playing in that league over in the Middle East, so you don't really see him. Mm-hmm. Whereas like Messi came over here. But I will also say too, like I've been to airports plenty of times where you got to get there at 4:35 in the morning, and it's like, look, I don't need booze, but can you at least open the restaurant?
Something, man.
Like, let me do something to kill this 90 minutes I got to waste.
It does suck.
Let's see. There's a lot of stories going around in Hollywood lately about creepy guys, hitting on girls that are younger. Well, here's one in reverse. Gatson Matarazzo from Stranger Things.
Okay, which one is he? I think I know which one the kid is. Okay.
Right. So he said he once got hit on by a woman in his 40s when he was a teenager. He was on a podcast. He said the woman came right up to him and said, quote, "I've had a crush on you since you were 13.
Yeah.
And added, "I'm aware of the age difference."
It's probably like I am too, creepy old lady.
Here's the craziest part, though. Right, creepy old lady. The woman had her 13-year-old daughter with her, and apparently the mom said, quote, "Mom, what the F?"
Oh, really? At least the daughter had some sense.
Right, he's 21 now. They asked him if he's been touched inappropriately over the years. He says, "I've had a few butt grabs for sure."
That's a weird question to ask someone. You been touched inappropriately lately?
And I feel like in Hollywood, though, there's so many stories. I mean, hell, it was even in The Godfather.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, you hear all these stories. So like, I feel like nowadays, like I don't know. I feel like it's all right to ask somebody. And also, yeah, it's like I get that he's a man and he's 21
now,
right? But like, don't touch him either, right? Like, look, there's plenty of guys that touch way too many women, but like, don't be touching dudes. How about just don't touch people? If somebody, yeah, like just don't touch. Right? When you're talking, and look, I get it, man. If I'm sitting at the bar and I get all fired up and slap some dude on the shoulder, I don't know, like, oh man, look at this.
A much different kind of touch there.
Correct. But other than that, like, just don't touch people.
Unless they drop on their back and want a belly rub. I model it after dogs.
Oh.
If they're walking and just drop them, like, all right.
Yeah. You know when you meet a new dog and it's like my one cousin kind of, has a dog like yours, right? Kind of intimidating looking dog, but super nice dog. Takes a little time to warm up, and I'm like, oh, this dog really likes me. Then the dog sits next to me. I'm like, heel. I'm the alpha in here. And I keep petting him, and then he's like slouching down. Then I'm like, I'm not giving you a belly rub, dude.
Oh yeah.
Like I didn't realize he was just setting me up slowly. Like, oh, just sit here, then I'll lean down.
I'm a dog now. There's 2 belly rubs. She knows she'll get one. As soon as I slide my eyelids over my eyeballs in the morning, she can hear it. Charges down the hall, jumps into bed. But by the time she lands, she's already on her back. Right, and it's every morning. So I basically wake up, give her a big belly rub, and then when I get home from work today, she's going to dance around and go crazy, but as soon as I sit down on the sofa, drops on her back. And I'm like, all right, these are your big 2 of the day. We know it's like clockwork.
I was happy to hear Mike bring it up earlier. NBA playoffs got a little more exciting last night as Minnesota finally won a game.
Mm-hmm.
Luka Doncic, an amazing player. They got to start calling fouls on that dude. When, if you pump fake and somebody jumps up in the air and then you jump into him, like that's not a defensive foul.
Right. No. And you also, when you have your hand straight up in the air and you're coming into that player.
Yeah.
I mean, that to me, that's an offensive foul.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like, I don't know. And like people.
That's not a normal shooting motion to drive into someone and throw it in the air.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I get it. But like, listen, I couldn't be a referee in basketball. Half the times I don't know what the hell is a foul anymore.
Oh, yeah, no.
Right? Like the Euro 3-step. But, man, some of that last night, I mean, I was watching the highlights, and I'm like, come on, Luka, you know that's not fair. You do got some hockey on tonight, and then the 14th season premiere of Master Chef. That's over on Fox.
Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. You're listening to The Men's Room.
1, 2, 3, 4. Those are numbers. But you already knew that. If you want to know what number you're going to pay each month for your car, use Kelly Blue Book My Wallet on Auto Trader. They're really good at numbers. Auto Trader.
For those in the market for flavor, there's Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas, a flavorful drink that's a modern twist on a Mexican street classic with 4 vibrant and refreshing flavors. Pineapple, watermelon, hibiscus, and cucumber lime, made with a splash of real fruit juice. Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas are perfect for any fiesta, small or big. Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas. Boldly authentic, vibrantly flavorful. Drink responsibly. Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas flavored beers imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois. Hibiscus contains juice only for color.
Nerds. Today's episode is sponsored by NerdWallet's Smart Money Podcast. Get your head in the financial game with smart investing and budgeting tips straight from the nerds. NerdWallet's experts will set future you up for success with dependable, fact-based insights. No financial misinformation allowed. Learn how to save on your summer vacation, find your next credit card, or loan for a big purchase, and invest in your next index fund. Make smarter decisions in 2024. Follow NerdWallet's Smart Money Podcast on your favorite podcast app.
Are you ready to unleash superior seating performance in your operation? Choose from 2 revolutionary Great Plains drills. The BD 7600 Min-Till drill, renowned for its seating consistency, large capacity, and innovative technology, including drill command. And the new BD 7410 drill, whose transport width under 10 feet delivers great maneuverability through gates and down narrow roadways. Each model is engineered for the proven performance you've come to expect from Great Plains.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. Chicago man is convicted of murder after testimony from a witness who just happened to be blind. Meanwhile, Colorado police search a car for drugs, then quite the find. Florida woman caught having sex in public dives off a pier. Officers chase a stolen motorcycle, look inside the saddlebags, and it's a deer. And officials in Thailand search for a missing kangaroo. It's time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my car.
Hey, top sir. We go to Chicago, where a man has gone free. At the age of 18, the young man was arrested by police and ultimately sentenced to 76 years in prison for the murder of a man at a local gas station. This comes in spite of the fact that the man running the station said that he wasn't the shooter and was all held together by their star witness, who was riding by on a scooter, and says that he saw the young man as the shooter, even pointing him out in a prison lineup and in court. Now, 12 years later, the convicted man was exonerated and set free after it came to light that their star witness was declared legally blind several years prior to the shooting, a fact that he lied about during the trial.
Come on.
The man has now filed a lawsuit due to the fact that although he is innocent, he's still facing the complication of a convicted man as well as other general losses.
Well, I mean, I have a feeling I might know the answer, but how is that even possible or admissible in court if the dude's blind?
Right. Because I don't think he ever brought it up.
I know.
I think he lied.
I just had to say it.
I know.
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous.
And my first thought, I'm like, I understand how this happened. But yeah, the guy should sue.
Right. The guy that ran the place said, no, this isn't the kid.
This is not the guy.
Right.
But still.
No. We'll trust the blind one. Yeah.
Where was this?
Chicago.
Yeah. I would sue.
You bet.
Yeah.
The county.
Tear it down, dude.
Jail. Right. The police department, the state, everything.
Because he said they're just like, nobody's going to hire me. I am still looked at as a murderer.
Right.
I was exonerated. They said I didn't do it, or at least...
It's still hard, unless you become a national story.
Right.
And they cover you on 60 Minutes, as we're talking about. It's kind of like, hey, man, I was exonerated. Yeah, we're not going to hire you.
But it's still... Right, because we don't want to take the risk.
Right.
Hey, Miles, weren't you in jail for murder?
Right. Yes.
Right. Well, I got exonerated. Yeah. Anyhow, that's my buddy that murdered.
Right.
You're right. And the average person is just going to be like, oh, that guy's a murderer.
Right. And since he was 18, he's been locked up. So it's here we are, 12 years later. So he's 30 now. He's at very least 12 years behind everybody else.
Oh, not just with technology alone, man.
Not to mention with the anchor that he's got of being labeled as a convicted felon.
Mm-hmm.
As a murderer.
Right, and he thought it was you're institutionalized.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to get back into normal society.
All right, now go. Screw you guys. I don't want my money. In other news, wild story out of Denver. An officer was patrolling nearby trailheads when he found a suspicious vehicle. The officer approached the vehicle after noticing that there was drug paraphernalia in plain sight. Oh, it's a great place to keep it. Serendipitously, the owner of the car arrived on the scene in an Uber at that same time and told the officer that a friend of theirs had borrowed the car and gave them permission to search it. In body cam footage that was shared on X, the officer finds all sorts of drugs and paraphernalia inside the car, as well as a clear plastic box, which is open to find a live, full-grown rattlesnake inside.
Surprise!
After a jarring exchange with no injuries, the officer concluded the search and elected not to arrest the owner of the car, but the department is now trying to get in touch with that friend who borrowed it to get some questions answered.
Let me see if I can find my friend.
If there were certain snakes in there, some constrictor of some kind, if there was a tarantula,
sure,
weird, but it's a pet. We've accepted that they are pets. If there was a big frickin' lizard, all right, fine, I get it. Who has a rattlesnake?
Very Southern Baptist priest. It's the only person I can think who wants a rattlesnake for any purpose.
Right. Even snake people don't grab rattlesnakes as pets.
I'd tell you, man, if I'm the cop and it was a tarantula, I probably would have shot that thing 7 times.
Yeah. Sorry,
that would not
back.
be. Yeah. Sorry.
Did he shoot that snake?
No, I don't think he killed the snake.
See, I feel like that's one. Yeah.
Self-defense, man. That snake's going down. Why is there a rattlesnake in this car?
And maybe
I was wondering because it was Colorado if the thing just climbed into the car or something.
No, it was in a box, dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was actually in a tub.
Okay.
And also, you might want to tell him, hey, I'm giving you permission to search the car. By the way,
he didn't know.
Oh, he didn't.
He didn't know.
So he really did. It really was a friend.
Yeah, the guy was like, "You realize that you have a live rattlesnake in here?" He's like, "Oh my god, really?"
It's his friend's car.
No, it was his car that his friend borrowed.
I thought he was just some line he was giving him.
And the fact that, because I thought the exact same thing. However, because the cop let him go, that leads me to believe that he had no frickin' idea that was in there. And after he looked at it, he was like, "You know that your buddy has anything else in here that might bite me as I'm searching this doggone car?"
I feel like I might lose my badge. if I like open the trunk and there's a snake, I'm just, and like, the dude didn't tell me about it. I don't know why. Like, there's a lot of things as a cop I think I'd put up with, but right. I mean, that dude's getting hit.
Smash!
Right.
Put it down!
Right. You didn't tell me there was a snake back there?
Yeah, man. That's
right.
Oh.
It's not like, look, I found your drugs. It's like, you son of a.
We head on down to Florida where a woman had a failed attempt at fleeing. Police got multiple calls about a couple engaging in sexual activity. Officers arrived to find the couple in their 20s still underway and broke up the action. Turns out that the couple had just gone out to the pier with the intent to jump off of it and into the water, but elected to just have at each other instead. When officers approached the two, the man stayed there and obeyed officer commands. Meanwhile, the woman backed away and ultimately jumped in the water to escape, only to discover that people move quicker on dry land. She was apprehended after swimming back to shore and was served an additional charge. I like one of the stories, one of the parents that saw the two engaged in sexual activity. My children witnessed it and they asked me questions about it. It's like, it's a pair of people in their early 20s having sex on a park bench. Now, granted, yeah.
Well, two people love each other.
Right.
And they didn't know each other. She just happened to see him at the pier and they were like, let's get it on.
No, they've known each other since they were like teenagers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
That couple knew each other. Yeah, they were just getting busy out there on the pier like early 20-somethings do, because as was mentioned earlier today, it's either this or my parents' house and they're home. So we're going to go out here. Like, don't hit the kids with charges. Break it up.
I love when people jump in the water. Like, that's a great plan if you're a dolphin.
Right. And just in case those stories
I
off the bat,
I wouldn't have sex on a pier. I don't want to get a splinter, Mike.
Yeah. Lay down a blanket or
you're
something.
doing a tree stump, but not a pier.
I wasn't touching the stump.
Just in case those stories off the bad taste in your mouth.
Thankfully, there's good news.
Thank you. We head to Baltimore, where a local pitcher is helping out the animals. Orioles pitcher Cole Irvin was about 20 minutes from first pitch earlier this week when he heard about the local animal shelter Barks, which is Baltimore Animal Rescue and Care Shelter, had just taken in dozens of animals and was in a bit of distress about it. Being a rescuer himself, having adopted 5 dogs that were currently residing at his home, he called his wife and said that they needed to do something big for them. Within minutes, Kristen Irvin called the shelter and pledged a major donation and organized an event where they would be there to sign autographs and would give specially signed certificates to those that adopt pets that day. Just trying to clear the shop.
Last year, they said they fostered 30 out of their home.
Fantastic.
So, multiple.
This pitcher guy.
Oh, yeah. 30 animals he fostered out and got rehomed.
Yeah, absolutely. Men's Room IPA continues to spread around the Pacific Northwest. Our buddy Ryan found it at the Total Wine in Olympia. Our buddy Andy, who found it, has it on tap at Triangle Sports in Fremont. And Silly Philly Tim on tap at the restaurant at the Little Cellars in Woodinville, if you'd like to go and check those out. And if you can't find it, there is a comprehensive list of locations at the Men's Room page of KISW.com. I know. I just put the whole doggone thing together today.
He's been doing this all day.
Thank you, Mike. Seriously. And when all else fails, just look for that bright yellow can. Men's Room Sports. The NHL playoffs continue tonight with Game 4 between the Stars and Oilers, with Dallas leading the series 2-1. That game underway over on TNT and Max. In the NBA, Minnesota managed to stuff the sweep, winning last night and setting the stage for a comeback. They're off tonight, and they'll pick the series back up tomorrow on TNT. Come on now. Move. Do the thing. There it is. Your Seattle Mariners came back big in the game last night against Houston, coming out with a 2-4 win and going up 2-0 in that series against Houston. Every delicious win makes me happy. Game 3 of 4 series on tonight at 6:40 en route with George Kirby on the mound. Meanwhile, your Seattle Sounders also in town here tonight, hosting the Real Salt Lake at 7:30. That'll be over on Apple TV. As far as your weather, things should be clearing up tonight and cooling down to about 50 degrees to open things up tomorrow, where we should expect clear skies and a high of 63. And that is it for your headlines. With that, Mike Hawk is out.
Thank you, sir. We'll see you next time with the head chef, Ted's Meat and Potatoes. Big Dummy on the way. Kevin Deere's up next. He's got more Metallica tickets.
Yes, indeed. It's all true, but in the meantime, well, we be all about this bitch. So until next time, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network. Oh, man! A Double Flush production.
What are you doing?
My weekly planner.
On your iPad?
On the Zinnia app. It has all different templates and creative tools. It's so much fun. I can import photos and add stickers.
You haven't heard of Zinnia? It helps me keep track of my kids' sports and dance classes right from my iPhone. Zinnia even helps me save important moments, like when my daughter scored the winning goal last week, I was able to upload a picture and the final score.
Wow, okay, it seems like everyone but me uses Zinnia. How do I spell it? Zinnia? All right, I'm downloading it now.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
This season on Nada Yada Island.
When we were new, they spoiled me. They even gave me a phone. But then, it's like I didn't exist.
Don't take yada yada from your wireless carrier. Now with Metro, get that new customer feeling again and again. Introducing Metro Flex. Free 5G phones when you join, same deals as new customers when you stay. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Just bring your number and ID and sign up for an eligible plan. After 12 months, trade in and get our best deals on select devices.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Rev up your drive with Volkswagen at Bellingham's exclusive offer. For a limited time, get behind the wheel of a brand new 2024 Volkswagen Atlas, Taos, or Tiguan with 4.9% APR for 72 months. Head to Volkswagen of Bellingham today to drive home in style. This offer is only valid through March 4th. Terms and conditions apply. Visit VolkswagenofBellingham.com to learn more.